we'll just do victory laps.
Holy shit. You weren't kidding about expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I know, right?
Worth it, though.
Yep.
Jeez, that's almost
Worth it, though.
a week's paycheck.
Okay.
It's over
we are
a week's
live.
paycheck for me. Alright.
Hello.
viewers.
Welcome back.
And just as a note, dear viewers, what you are seeing is a preview of possible new cover art for HSD.
Ooh.
Hold on, wait, what?
Yes, if you go into the HSD Discord channel, totally not a plug, you will find that we frequently have conversations with the creator, Sev, also known as Pierce. And one of the things he's recently posted was I would guess beta or alpha version of the cover of the 2.0 book. The 2.0 is clearly not anywhere to ready yet, but that's what we're testing for.
Yeah, it looks pretty awesome.
As an aside, we are phasing out of the alpha phase, and we're slowly edging towards the beta phase. This is more of a pre-beta with our current rules set and the character sheets we are at. So just so you know, that is around the corner. So expect that either sometime next year or maybe later this year. We're not quite sure exactly on the timing of that, as that's at the discretion of Sev. But hey, there you go. A big old plug for the fact that that's why we're doing this campaign this way.
But you said it wasn't a plug.
It wasn't. And just for clarification, for those of you who aren't watching it live, it is. We are currently filming this in current year.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So this isn't like some crazy nonsense, somehow we got this in 2017. No.
Nope.
Now, the 2017 version was much different.
Oh, God. Yeah. I just had flashbacks of the multiple success system, which I had positive feelings about and negative feelings about, and I'm kind of liking this more.
And we're allowed to do that, and that's part of all of our feedback. Now then, does anyone want to do a recap?
I'd be happy to.
Okay.
All right,
ahead.
so we were en route on our way back from the Empyrean. Satisfied and, well, a little bit distraught. Looking forward to a payday and also, like, you know, dealing with the emotions that come with what we had been doing. Or, well, at least the revelations that came with them. When we were jumped by pirates, and not even the sexy kind, but, like, you know, the kind that want to kill you, and not just take all your money. So...
Not the
we
Treasure
manned the
Planet
guns.
kind.
Ahem. We manned the guns, we fought off a few, but we had to jump into a debris field in order to try and outmaneuver and escape the others. We succeeded with a few things that we probably aren't allowed to tell the authorities about, and found ourselves approaching a giant ship that was straight out of Legends. The legendary Van Bruin from ASR. A giant ship that essentially is the size of almost an entire space station. It's been lost for years, decades, and we found it, and that's totally not worrying at all. So we landed, and we decided that we're going to have to explore the ship in order to find parts to fix our ship in order to keep going and head back home. Immediately, we're greeted by silence and emptiness because, you know, it's a ship that's missing for years. Of course there's no signs of life. There's a lot of signs of conflict, though. We found a bloody weapon, some used needles, a gas canister, a briefcase, and a door that had been shot more times than... I don't know. There's not really a good example because basically somebody took the entire clip and emptied it into the door panel.
So a day trip to LA is what we're talking about.
Almost. Almost. It's not that bad.
Sorry, viewers of Los Angeles.
Anyway, we proceeded through the ship and we met into the main entrance foyer where we met Max, the concierge AI of the ship. He's kind of glitchy, but he's still super happy and he loves to see us, and he gave us a short rundown. And right now we're investigating the main reception area. We know about several AIs who are currently active in the ship, and we've also found 3 corpses so far. One, a cook who had blown his brains out, or rather eaten a bullet, and 2 security officers who appear to be worse for wear. So right now, where we left off, is we are in the security room investigating.
Yep. Oh. We had recovered some gear too.
It was one
So-
of the shotguns.
Yep.
Just to mention, Rage, did you change the grid size?
That's a bug.
Try
That's a bug
map.
in Roll 20. Zoom out and in a little.
Yeah, just mess with the little slider on the side and it'll fix itself.
Ah, there we go.
Because roll 20.
Oh, it's not a perfect system.
But it's free, so we love it.
Yep.
I'm paying for it.
Yeah, actually I'm too.
Well, it's free, excluding those that pay for it.
Opt-in marketing, yay.
Yay. Anyway, so you guys done investigating the dead bodies? Because I'm getting horror vibes out here, and whenever I've seen, I don't know about you guys, but I've seen every horror movie. This is how it starts, and the dolphin always dies first. And this ain't gonna be that kind of movie, okay?
I don't really watch horror movies.
Me neither.
What?
Daxon frowns and says, I never watch the horror movies. Mostly I just watch the procedurals and laugh at them.
Spend a week in the Vale. That's horrifying enough.
You're not wrong.
Okay, fine. You haven't seen horror movies. I can work with that. But whenever I tell you not to do something, you do not do it. Is that okay? Good.
Daxon just just kind of folds his arms across his chest and glowers like, boy.
Like Kratos, boy.
Boy! Like, are you kidding me?
Who you calling a boy?
Anyway, we should probably get moving. We did get a copy of the map, correct?
Yeah, of sorts.
Sorts.
It's got the living quarters deck and a couple other details from some of the other decks, but it's
Okay.
not much.
By the
Basically,
way,
the map you've received is the complimentary map that you get when you're a standard passenger on the ship.
Okay.
as they're walking away, can I do a medicine check on the bodies per se? If there's any bullets, holes, or
To
signs of
determine
natural
the...
cause of death?
Yeah, that's what I figured you wanted.
Not a bad idea, actually.
Yeah, no, I'll go ahead and give that to you. Which body are you looking at first?
There was a Sergeant Willie and Sergeant W. Pulliver.
I'll look
Also
at
a
the-
Officer Karen Jennings as well.
I'm gonna investigate the bird first.
Okay. This is going to be a difficulty of 2. 2 is going to be a difficulty of 2. 2 is going to be a difficulty of 2. 2 is going to be a difficulty of 2. 2 is going to be a difficulty of 2. 2 is going to be a difficulty of 2. 2 is going to be a difficulty of 2. 2 is going to be a difficulty of 2. 2 is going to be a difficulty of 2. 2 is going to be a difficulty of 2. 2 is going to be a difficulty of 2. 2 is going to be a difficulty of 2. 2 is going to be a difficulty of 2. 2 is going to be a difficulty of 2. 2 is going to be a difficulty of 2. 2 is going to be a difficulty of 2. 2 is going to be a difficulty of 2. 2 is going to be a difficulty of 2. 2 is going to be a difficulty of 2. 2 is going to be a difficulty of 2. 2 is going to be a difficulty of 2. 2 is going to be a difficulty of 2. 2 is going to be a difficulty of 2. 2 is going to be a difficulty of 2. 2 is it's going to be, I'm going to say, a body perceive medicine roll.
So 1d6 plus 1d8 plus 4.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Unfortunately, you can't figure out exactly what's going on. However, what you have determined, while you haven't been able to determine the cause of death, you were able to determine that the skeletization is not natural. So, essentially, they've been picked clean.
So, are you going to start a panic arcane?
No, Dr. Lucifer is going to reach into his small bag and pull out a black book, flip to a new page, and writes down what he's found out in the Von Bruin with medical purposes. Skeletization is not natural. As he closes the book and puts it back in his bag.
Jackson sort of gives him an appreciative nod and says, keeping notes. Good first step.
I want to investigate the sergeant next.
Okay. This is going to be a similar roll.
Okay. The dice are not
Okay.
with me.
Unfortunately, you can't learn anything more from the sergeant than you can from the bird vector. Other than he seems to have lasted a little bit longer. He still has some desiccated flesh on his bones. He's still mostly bones.
I'll investigate the last one.
Alright.
Same thing.
Or Miss Jennings. Yep, go ahead.
And Jackson is going to be kind of guarding the door.
Finally.
Hey.
Okay, so something you notice as you're inspecting the skeletal structure of Miss Jennings, you realize something. You go back and check the other bodies, and you corroborate them against one another, and you come to a distinct conclusion. They were bitten repeatedly.
What?
As in, there's teeth and bite marks and scratch marks on the bone.
Oh, they were eaten.
Dr. Lucifer is going to write down his notes. They were eaten alive, apparently, down to the bone.
The problem with that, though, the problem with that conclusion is that there's not enough bite marks to dictate death by being eaten alive. Multiple bite wounds, yes, and significant ones, but not necessarily death. There's not enough of them, and the limbs would have been torn off or something along those lines. Most, when, dealing with anything that eats another living being, what do? You usually tear off the limbs to get at the meat and the marrow a little bit more effectively. So,
Also, would there have been enough bite marks to cause exsanguination?
it's kind of hard to tell. You'd need to have a more in-depth look at the bodies, other than, a cursory, hey, what's going on with them? So if he was to take several more minutes to look over them, he'd be able to tell you whether or not that they bled out from that, or exsanguination, or what other else was the cause of death. And if it was wholly related to the bites and scratch marks, or if it was something else that took them out, and those were just part of the problem.
Can I look over the bodies for an extra few minutes to find out the cause?
if you do so, this is going to give time for the rest of the party to do other actions. And so I will have to turn the time over to them while you are busy doing that. If they don't want to wait for you, well, that's kind of that. That said,
No,
ladies and
I
gentlemen,
think
what's the plan?
this is a perfectly valid line of investigation. Knowing more before we go further isn't a bad idea. While we're doing that, is there Daxon would be willing to stand watch here if Newsick and Cecily want to look around, see if there's any areas we missed as far as scavenging stuff.
Well, I know we didn't check in the southern section of the map.
We are in the southern section of the map.
No, we're in the. I mean, the other part of the southern section. We're in the security room. There's still the parts.
With the floating signs and stuff. Yeah.
Well, I can't see the floating signs.
Oh, that's right. You don't have the Googles.
No, 'cause I'm paranoid.
Oh,
He was spooked out by it.
Yep.
I mean, can you blame him, though?
I'm not putting in anything that could affect my ability to use the gun. Are you kidding?
It's
I mean-
it's AR. It's perfectly normal.
See, you say that, but I'm just saying, I'm not using somebody else's AR system that I have never met before, that I have no idea what it does. If I
That's
need
what
to
most
shoot
people
something, I
do.
cannot risk that.
Fair. Yeah, Daxon's just wearing the AR glasses. He's not gonna bother. Like, he actually doesn't have any implants, funnily enough.
This dude couldn't afford one. But some little good. So,
First
yeah,
time I'm actually
Cecily?
doing something with Cecily's implant.
Yeah, I think you did. Cecily, is there anything off over in that area? Like any signs or whatever?
Which this over here?
Yeah.
Well, let's go there.
Yep. Daxon will just stand guard here until the good doctor is done doing his analysis.
I'm sorry, I'm having a giggle at how silly this music is with this setting. I mean, it fits the perturbing setting, but at the same time, it's like too cheery for its own damn good.
I
Right,
love
then.
it because it's such great. Like, this is the sort of crap that plays in the lobby of the hotel I work at. So I'm just like, oh my god, yep, no,
Right.
this sounds about right.
Cecily, Newsig,
Ugh.
you have found what's left, emphasis on what's left, of the cafeteria. The kitchen, you can see south of your position, is a moldering pile. The doors have been caved in. You can hear odd spark noises from inside that you can only assume is from exposed wiring. Flickering lights from the inside provide poor illumination and show that basically every way to effectively get in there, aside from lodging some kind of explosive against something and blowing it out of the way, is blocked. It would take you hours to clear out and get in there.
Which we don't have. So, anything around out here?
There does seem to be quite a bit of litter. Like, far more litter than you would assume for the lack of, well, bodies in the area. So, either people have been showing up routinely over the years and doing something, or whoever was surviving managed to get down here and regularly do raids of something. If there were survivors. However, it does imply Vector-Hadum has been here at some point. Or some kind of cog. It's hard to tell. All the lights are flashing. One of them says, eat at Joe's. The other one says, eat at Bob's. Considering that Max recommended Bob, you're going to guess that Joe was a third-party restaurant of some kind that showed up.
Okay. Is there, let's see, how do you want to divvy this up, Cecily?
I don't think we should spend much time here. Just have a quick look around.
All right.
Just in case any of the stuff we need just happens to be lying around here.
Nusik is going to investigate the garbage piles to determine how old they are.
Okay, I'm going to need a either a mind perceive or a body perceive science roll.
Okay. Difficulty.
This is going to be a 3.
All right, and since I have a family simplification of mind perceive, would that count in this case?
I will allow it.
Okay, so difficulty 2. Plus my boon, so I'll take an 11, success on 11, I think that is. No, it's a 10 now. Okay. Oh well.
You're not able to figure out how old it is. However, you are able to find that only a few of them still have rot smell to them. Most of them are too dried out or have made of other stuff. The ones that have rot don't have any flies, though. Which is kind of weird, because you're used to that, but at the same time, kind of comforting, because it's space, and that means no kinds of nymphs that usually break down that sort of thing when it's left alone and not properly, sent back through bioprocessing.
Yeah, and it also means none of this was recent, which is good. That's great.
Yeah, relatively, definitely.
Anything else for you two?
Well, that was what I was doing. Cecily, if you want to take a look around and try and find something.
Yeah, but just generally looking around and can't think of anything specific.
Well, a few things you were able to find. A few pieces of loose cutlery here and there. One of which is a steak knife. It could come in handy as a holdout weapon if you needed it. Other than that, there doesn't really seem to be a whole lot going on. Most of the tables are broken or upended. One of them still has an active toggle case on it, though.
Oh.
Yeah, so take a look at that.
Well, the toggle case is active, and the toggle inside of it is open. However, it seems to have been wiped just previously.
Oh.
You're not sure how long ago previously was, but you can tell that there's no information left on the darn thing, aside from a serial number, and oh hey, this one happens to be a TTI one.
Okay. I'll pocket it anyway.
Wait, a TTI one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, presumably a TTI person who was on vacation here. Either
I
that,
mean,
or they had stopped by Europa as a port.
A TTI person being permitted on an ASR research vessel?
Why wouldn't it? It's also like a vacation ship, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a vacation one.
The Van Bruin was to be the preeminent flagship of ASR, and think of it like the Titanic. It was meant to be the biggest, best, most amazing ship of its time. And then bad stuff happened.
AKA the iceberg.
Mm-hmm. In this case, because of ASR's, interest in the sciences and whatnot, it doubled as a research vessel, and it had a solid security defense system because, let's face it, a giant cruise liner floating through space that can't land on a planet the size of a space station You get enough pirates together, and ooh, that's a juicy target to take down. Think of the amount of money you could make holding that for ransom. So, of course, they also had some pretty big guns on the damn thing. So it was kind of an all-rounder ship. Equal parts research, equal parts entertainment, equal parts, hey, I am the floating cannon in space. Do not piss off ASR.
Noted. I got them a little mixed up.
No,
Yeah.
you're perfectly fine. It makes sense.
And even if the corporations do joint projects.
Yep.
So
True,
it wouldn't have been... Go ahead.
I was going to say I mixed up the rivalries. I thought TTI versus ASR, but I was wrong. It's TTI versus Progenitus.
Pulse. Yeah, and Pulse versus ASR.
I got that mixed up. That was my misremembering.
Yeah.
No,
and
it's perfectly fine.
it is still interesting though, because it does kind of give a little bit of context that this wasn't just like, hey, let's bring a bunch of ASR board members on board just to show it off internally. There was clearly other people on here. Which, man, this must have caused a lot of outrage among a lot of the other corps. Like, hey, you remember that researcher that went on one of your cruise ships that never came back? Wasn't that great?
This was one. Other than the COG 2.0 comment many years ago, this was one of their single largest PR disasters. Like, this is like when TTI has one of their bio ships basically implode. This is stuff they do not like being brought up ever. Don't talk about it. We know it happened. Don't say anything.
Oh man, you know Haneker is going to bring that up at a lot of parties.
Yep.
It's kind of like what happens every now and again when Pulse subsidiaries launch some clever new thing and a bunch of people get killed that weren't supposed to be involved. Pulse, though, seems to have the overall reputation of just, my personal view on the flavor of things. Pulse seems to have a better PR machine than most of the other corps, but that's because in many ways they double as the entertainment nerve center. While that's not necessarily hard and fast as all of the corps do that, they're the ones who seem to have the ability to take advantage of that a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, and they actually were spun off from a Marsco PR / entertainment subcorp, if I remember correctly.
If I remember
I could
right,
be wrong,
yeah.
though.
And that's kind of why I get that sort of vibe from him, and it's part of why I said what I said. Anyway, so there you go, yes. Now you know, it wasn't just ASR folks on this thing, it was all kinds of people. Everybody lost somebody.
Yep.
Anything else, Cecily?
Nothing I can think of. Maybe try to take a peek in the kitchen. You said it was blocked, right?
You can look into it, but you can't really get into it.
I'll take a look then.
Okay, Nusig, are you gonna join her in that, or?
Oh, there's Ricky. Sure.
Okay, so as the pair of you approach the kitchen, I'm gonna need you to roll body perceives, please.
Difficulty 2 or 3 or what?
2.
Body perceive, you say?
Yes, that is correct.
Just a moment. I forgot to actually bring up any rules. Just so I get it right. Okay. Ugh.
The pair of you don't see it, but you hear a distinct robotic clinking and clanking, some kind of the sort you'd associate with a drone going on in the kitchen. You hear a few beeps, and then what you assume is some kind of door open, and then it goes away. You don't hear that noise anymore. Just more sparks and occasional flashes of light. It was kind of dark in there, so you're not surprised you couldn't see anything. It might be some kind of little cleaning drone or kitchen drone that just doesn't know what to do anymore, so it just keeps doing its same old routine. Going over the nutrient blocks, making sure that it has enough stocked, and then going back to its little hovel hole. Nothing special.
Oh, that reminds me. I have the perk items, so it'll probably make things a little more easier for me.
That's not really gonna help you here. Perks are for recovery.
I know, just saying it'll help for making wounds easier.
Yes. So that's Nusig and Cecily, and their adventure with the kitchen. Quote unquote.
What's left of it, at least.
At least it's not on fire or something.
I've never been any good with food printers anyway, so...
Now then, Dr. Lucifer.
Mm-hmm.
Having taken a few more minutes to examine it, you are able to determine that they did not die by being torn apart and eaten alive. You are very certain of this. They were picked clean, but it was post-mortem. The bite wounds and the scratches on the bones and other places, many of them happened after death. But most of them were before. So they had been attacked, and it seems like they didn't necessarily bleed out. They're judging by the bandages that have mostly disintegrated, but a few of them are still there, and an empty perk case nearby. You have surmised that they were wounded and tried to patch themselves up, potentially ambushed. You're not sure by who or what, as there's a lack of other bodies nearby. But you can only assume that they were able to drive them off, and then slowly die to their wounds or something else.
Dr. Lucifer will keep notes about this. And he's putting back the bodies where they were before.
If I might make a recommendation, please keep in track those kinds of things if you think it's actually important to do so in real life notes. If you don't want to, I'm not going to make you. Just saying, hey, that might help you if you want.
That was specifically, was that Sergeant Pulliver or Karen Jennings?
It was all three of them. All three of them had similar wounds. The sergeant more than the other two.
Okay.
But they all seem to have expired due to similar things. Alright. The floor is yours, gentlemen.
Well, I'll tell Daxon, who's the closest, about my investigation.
Daxon, you have now been made aware of the exact nature of our security officer's expiration. It's not pretty.
Yeah, he grimaces and mutters, "What, did Longbow take over this place or something? Who the hell goes around biting people?"
As Dr. Lucifer is rather calm about this, as he's not really grimacing over anything. I don't know. Could be pirates or maybe those who've lost sanity.
Takes a lot of madness to do this. Jackson will look up to see the others approach and gonna give them a nod. Did you find anything?
Yeah, a whole lot of trash and garbage. Looks like nobody's been here for a very long time, based on the decom.
TTI case and toggle, but they appear to be wiped. And
Oh.
there was something in the kitchen. Sounded like some sort of drone, but we didn't get a clear look at it.
Want me to take a look at that TTI case and see if I can recover anything?
It's been wiped.
Yeah,
Cecily
and
said.
unless it's been hit with a cooker, it's probably got something recoverable.
No. Yep, sure, take a look. Take a look.
Okay. Would this be some kind of sabotage, maybe, Rage?
I would say no, it's not sabotage. Though sabotage would help you in understanding how to recover that sort of thing, so I will let you do a sabotage roll.
Okay. Difficulty, how high?
Do you have any sort of tool on you to help you do this?
Forget, are Crash Suite still a thing in 2nd edition?
Yeah, Crash
it's
Suite's still
I
thing.
don't have that. I only have a cooker.
Then unfortunately, this is going to be a 3. Minimum.
That's fine.
So it's been complicated.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You don't got the equipment, mate. Alright. You are able to bring it back online. It's functioning again. Not just, kind of sitting there. On. And you aren't able to do a full recovery. Something seems to be broken with it. You are able to get, what seems to be the last bits of data that had been put onto the toggle, beforehand. So it's not really being able to access the cloud so much as it is to get some of whatever was left on the accessing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to bring it to a smart... Go ahead.
So basically, you're able to kind of go through some of the cookies and after images, but not any of the actual files.
Mm-hmm. You can't go through and figure out who the user was and all that jazz. There's just, essentially leftover JPEGs and whatnot. Like if your internet had been cut off and you can't go backwards or forwards from where you're at.
Okay.
You do find something rather disturbing. One of the last things done with this toggle was to have a picture taken and a video recording. The video recording is broken and all you can see is a vector's feet. But the picture is of a group of vectors and a couple cogs. All of them look panicked. And a bright flash of light in the background. You can't quite make it out. You'd have to take a moment to look at the picture for a while to figure out what exactly is going on in it.
Yeah.
What kind of check would it be?
This is going to be a logic roll. I'm going to say mind or mind perceive.
Mind perceive? Okay. What difficulty?
This will be a 2. It's not actually hard to figure it out. It's harder to get to it than it was to find it. Yeah. Ooh.
I'm gonna re-roll that 1.
Oh my god! What is with us?
There we go. Much better.
You know what? I'm gonna re-roll that 1 as well.
Why?
How are you guys re-rolling?
Focus.
Focus.
Oh.
You have it
Yeah.
per episode.
You need 2 focus for 1, but yeah.
Yeah. Daxon.
Mhm.
it's gunfire. The patterning, that's gunfire from small arms. The sort that you would see regularly on security. Not unlike the group down over there. You're not sure because, you couldn't see their faces other than skeletal structure, but at least one of those vectors is a Canidae.
Mhm.
That could be our dead sergeant over on that security console. It's difficult to tell, though. He's not looking at the camera.
Does
But
it
those
look like
flash-
they're shooting at someone else?
Yes, it looks like they're shooting away from the vectors who are in the photo. The photo seems to have been taken by mistake, as if they were trying to get out the toggle case and do something else. You can only assume that the something else was the video, and they just pushed the wrong button in their panic. Unfortunately, you can't access the video.
Too broken.
We might have lost Ian.
Did we lose Ian?
You might.
Okay. Hey, I'm back. Yay. My internet went out there.
Alright, give me 1 moment.
Also, what I noticed it too with my reroll from 1.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Like what I've noticed it as well with my reroll.
Do you have a boom?
Oh. Yes, you would have noticed as well. So, both Riss and both Dr. Lucifer and Officer Jackson have correctly identified the flashes of light as small arms gunfire. And you can tell that the cogs and vectors in this photo are not happy to be there. And that there do seem to be some sort of vectors or something defending these panicked individuals from something else. Or someone else. The gun flash makes it impossible to see past it.
Okay. Daxon will kind of report his findings to the others and say, looks like some sort of security detail was protecting these people. Actually, question. You said there was a cog in the photo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do they have a wedding band? Did either of them have a wedding band on their hand?
You can't see their hands in the photo.
Damn it. I thought it was going to be clever.
Though could have identified.
Though you can clearly see cog and vector faces in this.
Okay.
So you'd probably be running through some old files, but somebody could potentially identify these people based entirely on this photo.
Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna...
Well, how's our SoulNet access out here?
Probably non-existent. Otherwise, we'd just be able to, like, instant message somebody for help.
I don't.
There's no relay close enough to actually get SoulNet access here.
Yep.
I wasn't really expecting it.
Yeah, I
wasn't
didn't think
expecting it
so.
either.
I didn't think so.
If there was something on the ship would locked in and people would be able to find it.
So, whatever was supposed to be working is dead.
Well, Newsig's gonna pocket the toggle and chamber around in his asp. Keep your weapons hot, guys. I think from here on out, we're pretty much... I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think we're in a... It's called a hot zone, right?
No. Hot zone is
No,
something
it's not.
different.
Daxon kind of raises his brows and says, just be careful and stay behind me.
Hot zone is an area of basically authorized corporate warfare.
No, okay. So there's no terminology for danger zone.
Danger zone works.
And if anyone starts singing it, I'ma bop you with the baton.
You can't stop me, I'm God.
I'm gonna quote a very old meme. Can it? When God gives you lemon, you find your new god.
All right, I'll let that go. I'll give you that one. That was pretty good.
You'll give me the power thirst reference.
You're welcome.
All right, I genuinely appreciate that. All right,
All right.
onto the elevator. Even though they always say never use an elevator during an emergency.
Well, do you see any stairs? Because I didn't find any stairs.
Well,
Yeah.
as you approach the elevator, you hear a far too familiar voice. Once you've actually piled in, you're beginning to hate the sound of that hologram showing up. Apologies. Our elevator system seems to be broken at the moment. Please stand by, as we have an engineering crew on their way. They should be here momentarily.
We're kind of in a hurry. Are there stairs somewhere we can take?
There should be some access emergency panels over in the northern hallway.
Jackson points in the direction of the kind of old west styled casino up towards there.
If they are not available, there is a passage down to engineering, but that is whatever he was going to say cuts off. However, his mouth continues to move, and he smiles when he finishes his sentence.
Even though he's probably not like, even though he can't be like touched, Jackson is just gonna give him like a fake pat on the shoulder and go, "Okay, buddy, thanks," and he'll go try and find the panels.
Can I attempt to read his lips?
That's a good idea.
Even if it's a difficulty 5, I'm still going to try.
I hate to be the one to tell you, but yeah, it's gonna be like that. You gotta remember, he broken. He's lovable, but broken.
I still want to try.
I'll
Okay.
try as well.
Okay, go for it. I will not allow rerolls on this, though. You get what you get, alright?
So I perceive.
This is going to be a mind perceive. What you're doing is trying to recognize patterns in the way his mouth is moving versus things he said previously to properly interpret what he's saying.
And any skill boosts at all?
No.
Okay, just flat mind perceive then.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. This is a difficulty 3.
Oh, only 3?
Only 3.
Oh,
You can do
okay.
it, but it's hard. Okay. Nusig, what he was trying to say seems to have been accessible only by personnel. But it's kind of hard to tell because he kind of wigged out about 2/3 of the way into that last little bit. So he could have been said personnel, he could have been saying crew or authorized personnel and just skipped over the authorized. It's hard to tell exactly what he was trying to say beyond, apparently it's not meant for standard passengers.
Yep.
You get that much out of it.
Well, we do have some key cards.
Yes, but I would not wager that we want to test them just yet. Or actually, now would probably be the best time, but still. I'm going to ask him whether he means engineering personnel or security personnel or just authorized personnel.
It would require authorization from security or engineering.
Alright, well I guess we could try the security IDs.
That would work. If anything's gonna work, it's going to be that. Otherwise, well, we might as well try.
Yep. Did he mention where the engineering passage was? I don't think he did.
I think it was
No.
north. Okay.
He just mentioned north.
Well, Max, when the engineering team comes up here through the passage, where would be the best place to greet them and assist them?
I'm sorry. I don't understand the question.
You said engineering was coming to fix the elevators, so I would assume that they're coming through the engineering specific passage, yes?
Correct.
And if we want to help them along, where would that be?
Near the elevators. Why, of course.
Jackson pinches the bridge of his nose / snout and just goes, let's just see if we can't find it.
Alright.
Thank you, Max.
You're welcome. Please remember to ask at any time for my assistance. See you later. Tur.
Then, yeah, actually, what is up here, kind of north of the elevators?
Well, there seems to be a kind of folding wall. At first, you thought it was bent or broken, but then you realized it's intentionally made to look like the rest of the golden metallic walls around you.
Mm-hmm.
It's very aesthetically pleasing, but it's been It has some very cleverly hidden hinges so that it folds up. It seems to have been rusted into its current position, however.
But you can get around it, it seems.
Yes. It just kind of seems to be stuck the way it is.
Well, Daxon is going to take point and peek around it.
As you peek around, you see several loose cables lying around, a wrench or two, nothing that seems useful. And then far in the top northern corner is a hatch. It's closed tight, though. It has a small terminal attached to it.
Well,
It also has a large tube beside it with a similar-looking hatch and ladder attachment.
Daxon's going to check this out, and he's going to see if any of the key cards that we have match up.
Well, as you scan through, eventually working your way up to the sergeant's keycard, you find that it indeed does work. However, the top hatch doesn't actually open. It seems to give a unruly metallic screech, and only one shutter opens. And the ladder attachment that you can see is trying to descend, sputters, and then stops trying to go down. You can't climb through effectively. However, the lower one opens.
Okay. So we can't go up, but we can go down.
Mm-hmm.
Daxon shrugs and says, well, at least we could get to engineering, see what we can't bring online. Plus the parts list. Might be able to find what we're looking for down there.
Sure, not a bad idea.
The terminal you used, as you go to approach the hatch, gives a cheery chirp in Max's voice. For once, not overly glitched out and digitized. It welcomes the sergeant and hopes he has a pleasant day.
At least we know how he sounds like without being glitchy.
Are you guys going to go down the ladder, or are you going to investigate? Is anything else up in this deck?
I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we did check everything out. Yes.
I haven't
Everything except the casino.
Oh,
checked
yeah.
that place.
Oh. I'm guessing you guys want to go check out the casino first.
Not really.
Not really.
Okay. We can go check out the casino. Who knows, maybe somebody left some coins lying around.
I'll go to the casino.
That was interesting. Okay.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that again, Tygon?
I just was you know, I guess you guys want to check out the casino. 2 replies of not really. Okay, I guess we'll check out the casino.
Oh, I didn't hear not really.
Yeah, no. Both Dax and Cecily replied, not really.
Oh, okay then. I guess that's majority rule. Okay, no casino.
Not yet, at least, because we can always check it out on the way back to the
You're
ship.
assuming.
This is the way we came.
We can always check it out when we get back. You assume.
We all.
Okay.
You see, when Rage said, "Are you sure there's nothing else you want to see here?" immediately my mind said, "Wait, we might not be able to come back here."
That's metagaming.
I know, but
The characters don't
past
know
it.
that.
Well, with that in mind, you are all headed down to engineering.
Yep.
By the way, if it is starting to dark, I'm gonna turn on my flashlight.
Okay, that's nice.
I'm just gonna glow. You know, I'm gonna roll down my tactical black turtleneck and let it glow.
That's nice. Could you be more, helpful about that? No.
Oh, come on, I packed 2 references into one.
I'm being a butt. Give me one moment. I'm trying to remember which of these I picked for this.
Then suddenly we accidentally end up on the final boss level.
Which is a
oh,
giant
hi.
breathing whisper nest.
It's some unholy combination of GLaDOS, Shodan, and like the final, like a mechanical version of the final boss of Dead Space, just all rolled into one horrifying package. And we go back up the ladder.
Fuck this shit on mount. Hold up, let me just turn around.
There we go. Now I can see.
Gotta actually turn my token for this.
Oh, crud. And I can't see what you guys see, so this is gonna be, we're gonna have to talk to each other on this one.
As you descend into engineering, the smell of metal, rust, ozone that you can only associate with electrical, exposed wires fills the air. The air down here is not as pleasant as it was upstairs. It's a little stale and leaves a slightly bitter taste in your mouth. You can see that the emergency lighting isn't on. Nothing seems to be broken. It's just not on. Distantly, you can hear the hum of the engine in its massive state. A few other beeps and bops here and there. The rattling of piping. Nothing you wouldn't find out of place for a standard engineering deck. It's just dark. Far too dark.
I'm going to put on my helmet. So that I could probably breathe a little easier.
Daxon is going to kind of look around and he'll mention, We might be able to get the emergency lights on.
I don't think it's going to be easy like that.
Would be helpful.
Let's try to. I didn't bring any short-range weapon with me today.
By the
I'm
way,
saying that seriously. Like, the 10 range minimum for me is like the very edge of my vision.
10 range minimum?
Yes, my gun is really only effective at 10 hexes or more.
Never heard of
Also,
that before.
question: are we supposed to be unable to see each other's lights?
Yes.
That's why I said we're gonna have to talk a lot more.
I have intentionally set it up so that you can't see each other's. However, if you'd prefer, I can activate that. Would you like me to do so?
No, it's okay.
We'll try it this way for now.
It's not fine. I wanted to see if it would give the proper spooky feel.
I
It's
mean,
well,
it definitely works with cone of vision. Because I'm rotating Daxon around.
see,
The only way this could possibly get any worse is if you had the power in Discord to mute us and make our tokens disappear if anything happened while we were out of the vision of our other comrades.
He can
I
mute us
can't
in
do
Discord.
that.
you can't do that.
Why did I just remind you that was a thing? Damn it.
Oh no, I knew that, and I decided that wasn't going to be something I was going to do, and I was going to allow you to have radios. I was just
Alright.
going to let that be a thing.
I'm sorry, Star. I have to ask, where did you get that 10 hexes?
My gun has a property called Lurk, and Lurk kicks in at 20 hexes normally, but thanks to my techniques, that's knocked down to 10.
Yeah, but that's only for stealth firing. The gun is just as effective at 5 hexes.
Not really. It's actually more effective for stealth firing because it reduces their evasion score.
Yeah, but you made it sound like you can't actually use your gun.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought you said... from what you said, you made it sound like it literally didn't work if they were closer than that.
Well,
Like
I
how
mean,
certain
in
rockets
the
and
older
grenades
versions, I
have a
think that was
minimum
the
range.
thing. I just have to stay out of point-blank range, is the main thing.
Right.
Well, that's only one
And
hex.
point-blank range is pretty close.
Yeah. Alright, well, Daxon will take point.
Mhm.
So stay close, he mutters to the rest of everybody.
Oh,
Body system.
The fact that Daxon technically can't see what's going on behind him is probably the most entertaining thing to me here.
I'm just
Yeah,
gonna keep
'cause-
turning around.
like I have a flashlight on, so I'm just going around every direction I can.
Heads on a swivel. As you proceed down the engineering hall, you
Mhm.
notice the arrows on the ground. You suppose that those are likely there to provide direction for people moving things backwards and forwards. If you were to turn and look behind you, you'd see that the hatch is actually in the middle of a long hallway that goes, you suppose, the entire length of the ship. You can't see much further past that, though, because there seems to be something large that collapsed on top of it. The air still seems breathable here, it's just you probably won't get much further down that way. You also notice a console plugged into the wall overhead. It's not on, but it's there. You can only suppose that that was used to help the various crew members and engineers down here maintain their bearings and orders and whatnot. You know, a sort of visual reminder of what's going on and what needs to be done.
Okay. Let's see. We don't have any... Daxon's gonna bring that up and ask if we have any way of giving temporary power to it.
You can't think of any way to do that outside of its system. It's plugged into a wall and it's above where you can actively reach it. Just beyond the average vector reach. A macro would be able to get to it easy, but anybody else, it'd be kind of a pain.
Alright, well, keep going then.
As you progress down the hall, you see at the left-hand side a door. And a crack in the map because I'm an idiot.
Well, consider it's just like a white line, so I can't actually see that, so.
Yeah.
Is there a manual override on the,
It's difficult to get these walls to all be properly closed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a little bit rough, and I've put walls on everything else, so I'm not worried about it exposing anything it shouldn't be able to. Unfortunately, the door seems to have been welded shut.
Huh.
Oh, that's not good.
From the inside.
Hmm.
You can only tell that because there's a little bit of that slag and scorch marking. You know, the kind when you overweld something and it leaks through the opposite side of the metal?
Yeah.
Somebody welded this thing shut and doesn't want anyone near it.
Well, did anybody bring an iron torch?
Nope. Actually, hang on. Hang on. I have the spacer background that has random survival gear.
Here, let me pull a welding torch out my ass.
Well, you say that, but I can pull optics, flashlight, point shift gauntlet, police whistle, rope, tools, bottles, PVC, bug out ball, and vacuum sealant system out of my inventory.
Out of your ass.
Yeah. So, you say
Okay,
that,
we're
and yet...
Here, let me just reach into hammer space a moment.
Yep. You can produce any of the following items without cost or having them in your inventory. It will last as long as it would as if it was purchased. You can produce these at any time from an emergency kit rather than only once per arc. So basically, I always have those on me at any given time.
Well,
Wow.
that's all well and good.
But none of those is a welding torch, so...
Nothing that could get you through that door.
Nope. Alright, moving on, I guess.
As you progress forward, you notice a piece of machinery left over. You're not sure what it is, but it's very decidedly broken.
Any idea of what its function might have been?
Not really. It seems to have, whatever was left of it has been torn apart and gutted. However, you might be able to find some of the parts you need.
Can we investigate around to find any?
You may. I'd need body perceive rolls to look for the things that you're looking for, see if they're nearby. But beyond that, there you are.
Okay.
I don't find anything.
You guys do that while I keep watch.
Overwatch.
The dice are not with me, apparently. It's whenever
Yeah.
they goddamn want to.
Excuse me.
So,
Looks like
anyone
there's
else
another-
rolling body perceive?
I'm on lookout duty.
For,
There's a hallway behind us and
what
a hallway in
I
front of us.
didn't hear what was actually
For
happening.
any parts that we need to repair the ship.
From
Our
this
ship.
piece of machinery.
Sure. Yeah, close.
Not bad.
You're not sure that you guys find anything that's inherently useful. You do find a few spare parts that are actually intact. You're not sure if they match anything that you need. So it's up to you whether or not you keep them or take them, or leave them behind.
No,
mean,
might as well grab a few things that look useful.
You have found spare parts.
Hooray!
You can bring them back to Wesley at any time to have him tell you whether or not they're what he needs.
Yep.
Okay.
Looks like there's another door up on the left. Also another terminal on the right, still dark.
By the way, could I use my body perceive hearing to see if I hear anything suspicious outside of us?
So you want to search to see if you notice anything out of place that could be a threat?
Yeah.
Okay, I will allow it.
Since I have simplification because of my reclaimed auditory. So yeah. I have simplified body perceive hearing.
This is going to be a hearing. I'm gonna say. Let's see. What's a good example of what I'm looking at here? You can pick stealth or sabotage.
I'll go with you know what? Stealth. Give me 1 second. So simplify would probably mean I have an easier time with that.
It's a rank 2, and that if simplifies, unless I misremember, cause you to succeed on a roll of 10 versus 12. Or is
Okay.
that a boon? Am I misremembering that, Tygon?
I'm very sorry. What was that? Didn't understand it acoustically.
Sorry. I'm trying to remember if simplifies are what allow you to succeed on 10s, or if it was boons that allow you to succeed on 10s. I'm trying to remember what simplifies do.
That's a boon. A simplify reduces the difficulty by 1.
Okay. So then you're dealing with a difficulty of 2.
So I need to hit 11.
No, 12.
No, you have to hit 12, not 11.
Okay.
That's not... The difficulty is... If you remember right, the difficulty determines what dice you roll, not the number you have to hit.
Oh, the dice have to roll.
Yes. Have you not been rolling these checks correctly? Because it has been looking like you have been, but I'm concerned now.
Like I have been.
Okay.
So
Not a big
sometimes
deal.
I need a refresher here and there.
It's fine.
Oh, come on.
Welcome back. Sorry. Blah. What was the come on?
You are unable to determine if you hear anything that's out of place for the engineering.
Shall we keep moving? If we're lucky, we might be able to find a power source. And if we find a power cell, we can leave.
Or just some ability to turn on emergency power to see what we're doing.
You know, I'm getting this gut feeling that we might not want to turn on power. I'm pretty sure it's off for a reason. Like, you know, some of the doors are welded shut, or some of the access panels are completely shot, or the elevators aren't working.
The elevators aren't working because it's an emergency situation, and that's standard operating procedure.
It's probably to protect us, or whoever was here before us.
So
What part of standard operating procedure during emergencies do you not understand?
The part where you want to turn it off.
or else you want to keep something out.
as you round the corner,
Mm-hmm.
you're able to see a forklift. Handy. Unfortunately,
to move something.
it doesn't seem to be active. It looks like it could be jump-started, but you'd have to find some kind of power source.
Oh, like a PPC, actually.
Something a little bit bigger than that. I mean, it could potentially work, but it wouldn't last for very long.
Yeah, because it's designed to open powerless doors, activate smart glass, or charge personal electronics. So it can open doors. I don't think it could run a vehicle.
Yeah, it'd last all of a... Oh, hey, I have a... Oh, never mind.
Interestingly
Look at me.
enough, it doesn't say if it's one use or not.
Look at me, Mom. I've got no hands. I'm driving with no hands.
So, the forklift here is handy, but why is it doing here in engineering?
Moving heavy stuff.
It's easy to figure out why. Look at the tracks beneath your feet. There's very clearly worn pieces into the paint job, which look oddly familiar to those tire treads. You're gonna guess that anytime some heavier machinery or parts that are just too big for Vector to effectively move for repairs, they'd use forklifts or other vehicles like this to travel down the sides of the ship. You gotta remember, this thing is the size of a space station. You are not having a Vector haul a freaking crate as big as they are all the way down the full length of this ship. That's bollocks. Someone would have a freaking union riot.
Unless they're a former pole staff lane just working out.
No, then you still have the union riot.
Because that's discrimination.
So, is that a crate I see over there?
It's a pallet. The kind that you'd put, other kinds of heavy objects on top of and then let the forklift slide that onto its little forks and move it around. Or, you'd tie something that's sensitive material down to the pallet instead of having the forklift directly lift the object. Hey, Nusig.
Hey.
Don't get left behind.
Well, somebody has to watch the corridor. I don't know why they're leaving the... I said at least one person on the entrance and exit.
Since when are you a tactics specialist?
Yeen, you're muted.
Oh, sorry, I was just saying, like, to Nusig, like, okay, but if you get out of line of sight of us, which, by the way, 2 of the party wouldn't be able to see you, you could get picked off, and we would have no way of knowing where the hell you went. So, staying close is more important.
Well, I can either keep my eyes on you or on the hallways.
Just saying.
We have 4 of us. If one of us is watching the hallways and one person is just keeping an eye on everybody in the group, then I don't mind if you want to go investigate. This is why I was pushing for the buddy system.
Yep. It looks like this route goes a ways. Looks like a door on the left and a door on the right.
Are you sure you don't want to finish this path first? Get to the end of the hall?
This goes the whole length of the ship. We could be going for a while.
Well, I mean, the map ends in about, like...
That is metagaming.
That's meta.
Still saying...
Okay, you're saying information that we can't possibly know. This provides no information that we as characters can act on.
I'm just asking why you want to take the first exit.
Because it might be a self-contained repair area with parts and useful information.
Dr. Reese,
Mhm.
as you've gotten closer to the door on your left, the one to the right as you look to the map, you realize it's labeled. It's a bathroom. At least they thought nicely of the engineering staff and figured, hey, maybe they gotta take a pee break. Here's a bathroom just for them down here.
That's nice of
Well,
them.
this one's labeled the bathroom.
What's this area here? It almost looks like a lift.
Hang on. I need to make sure I'm seeing what you're seeing.
I'm
Ah.
pinging it.
You can see the light coming from it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Good. That's
Yeah,
an open
it- It doesn't actually like illuminate anything for me, but I see like the little blue glowing bits on the door itself.
Okay. That's fine. That's kind of intentional.
Okay.
It's a little bit. I tried to make it so it would split the glow both on either side of its wall, but it doesn't work that way. I don't know why. It's kind of dumb. But hey, Roll20's limitations.
Mhm.
Yep.
It's a door, and it's active.
Got an active bulkhead here.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
Can you open it? Do we want to open it?
I mean, yeah. Why? Okay. In character, why wouldn't we?
Because we have no idea what's on the other side.
That's just as much reason to open it.
Okay. We are not like we aren't like scaredy passengers in a horror setting. We're people trying to survive a pirate attack, salvaging a derelict ship. Like, unless we're worried about sudden explosive decompression as we open a bulkhead that's exposed to the vacuum of space, why are we sneaking around being paranoid? As far as our characters know, this isn't like a zombie-filled ship or, you know, like full of monsters or something. This is just a wreck.
By the way, I'm gonna go down this corridor a little bit just to see what's at the other side.
South.
South, yeah.
I will.
If I might, I would recommend staying with the
I'm not gonna go
line of
far.
sight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daxon is going to go to this corner here, and he's going to post up, kind of covering the doctor.
Okay.
And to answer your question, Scavenger, this has been my personality since the start. I am not this hard-boiled, grizzled character. I am somebody who panicked, you know, who's not used to seeing a dead... Like, an Empyrean was probably one of the first situations where they'd seen a body that mutilated, or that, well, you know. They are new to this. They are not comfortable with this. Of course
Fair.
they're paranoid.
Well, you have the doctor who is rather calm about this.
Who
Also-
jumped off a cliff.
Yeah. Never forget that you did that. We will never let it go. For very good reason.
I think the best thing to keep in mind would just be like this is definitely a high stress situation, but it's definitely not one where like we have to worry about things jumping out of the vents until something jumps out of the vents at us, because like
Okay.
for the average vector that doesn't happen.
You
By
know,
the
this is-
by, entering rooms is going to be a little wonky. Ahead of schedule, I'm letting you guys know. If you go into rooms, it's going to be a little wonky because I have to pull you through it.
Okay,
Okay.
so
And the reason for it is because I've set up... hey, Newsig, do me a favor. Try to walk through the wall that's to the top left of the map. Just go on, try to move your token through that wall.
It's very wonky.
Yep.
You can't go. I've set it up so that all of the walls that I've put down, you can't pass through. I have to do it.
In order to
Makes
prevent wandering tokens by accident.
It allows us a greater sense of control over your environment and allows me to keep track of where everyone is. It does mean that you'll quote-unquote disappear from other people's vision, but because I can see you, I'll be able to tell you if you can see what's going on.
Right. So we probably want to check this side room first. Just my 2 cents. Not for any
That's a
particular
corridor.
reason. Because to the south of us is a corridor that looks like it goes for a ways.
That's a hallway.
Alright, you want to keep eyes on Reese? I'll keep eyes on Cecily.
Alright.
So, what do I see when I enter this sort of hallway?
Well, you can see a terminal from where you're at. Another one, very similar to the ones you saw up north. It's not active. You also see some more caution painting on the ground. This is probably... you're not quite sure exactly what sort of hallway this is, but considering the fact that you can see a little bit more of it, it's probably significantly smaller than the main... You're gonna just call it the causeway. It makes sense. You don't need a bunch of routes for vehicles to go in and out. You really only need one. So long as that's maintained properly, no one should be bothered. And if not, you can always have backup ones so that vectors can move in and out. And if you have to have heavy machinery, well, then whatever's causing the problem should probably be fixed first.
Alright. So we should probably check the room first before we go down this way too much, Doctor.
Sure.
There were signs of light and power, so I'd prefer to check the more promising lead before we go delving off into the darkness.
So we could find more parts here. But the more I find out about parts about our ship,
Mm-hmm.
though the more I explore more about the Von Bruin, the more interested I'm in.
Curious too.
Now then, are you guys
Excuse me.
wanting to enter the room or no?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd say we should enter.
Assuming the door opens.
Yes, as you approach it, the door opens. It slides open with the rusty sound of hydraulics.
Lovely.
Yeah, it's a bit old now, but it works.
Boop.
Did that work for you, Nusig?
Yep.
Okay, let me slide everybody in here real quick. Alright, you are greeted as the door opens with a very disturbing sight.
Oh.
A pair of floodlights, which have been out for some time, and a turret. This isn't a light one either. This is the kind that you only use when you expect to have to face down a whole riot. It seems to be a little rusty, but it also seems to be covered in old blood. A large ammunition box. You're not sure how much is in there. You'd have to actually go over to it. And behind the floodlights, a broken generator.
Does the turret look active?
It's the kind you have to man.
Oh, okay. That's a good thing.
I was gonna say, if it was active, we would probably already be shot to ribbons.
Though...
As Nusig, as you approach closer, you can see a collection of garbage. This one's recent, though. Very recent. You can tell because not all of the food has rotten. Some of them are still in their packages.
Could it be the same person that shot that terminal down back where we're from?
No idea. Do we see any kind of, dare I say it, remains?
I need a body perceive check.
Alright.
Difficulty?
1.
Daxon will check the ammunition reserves on the turret.
I'll re-roll that one. Darn, Jesus loves me.
Or maybe it just doesn't want us to know.
Daxon,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna need a body perceive with you.
Okay.
I'm also gonna need one from Cecily, please.
Okay.
Uh,
Difficulty?
difficulty 2?
1.
1.
1. Oh, okay. There we go.
Damn it.
Okay. Cecily, Daxon,
Mm-hmm.
you're not alone.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck.
Hey, I'm in melee range.
Eep.
From the darkness, glowing red eyes stare at you from over the ammo box. And beyond that, a singular glowing yellow eye. As you turn your flashlights to them, you're able to make out the snarled but still far too vector-like visages. They don't look nor behave like vectors, as the one nearest to you slowly clambers up from the rotted mattress it was sitting on and smashes its fist onto the ammunition box. It lets
Jackson?
loose.
Go ahead.
It lets loose a very bestial growl. Roll for initiative.
I knew it. So a D10 plus body.
No.
Just
Okay,
1d10 plus
alright.
your score.
Alright, so it's just D10. Well, let's have to roll well by this.
Yeah. No, that's a good thing though. It means if you want to take bonus actions, it's going to be a lot easier. All right, so I'm gonna say that I'm gonna give myself for my readiness spread. I'm gonna do 3 determination, 1 initiative. I'll put that in chat for the record and roll.
Okay.
11. Sweet.
Let's see if Roll20 will play nice, because it's currently lagging the hell out, and I can't click on anything.
Hmm.
Like, it's pretty bad.
Welcome to Dead Space.
This isn't helpful. Okay, Alright. Oh! I can see why. I'm on the wrong hecking layer. But I also still couldn't click anything properly.
Also, did Taga, did you roll for initiative?
No, I haven't. I'm trying to figure out if I want to focus the battlefield in any way.
Don't forget, you guys can't do that. I think, Reese, you might be out of your focus. I don't... remember for sure though.
Well,
I
he's
have-
used so far.
I used 2 so far. I have 2 left.
No, you've used
Use
4.
Oh.
You've done 2 rerolls.
Oh yeah. So I'm out of focus.
Yep.
I have 2 focus left because I did the +1 plus the reroll earlier. Actually, no, I should have 1 focus left.
So Dr. Reese has lost his focus.
Stay on target.
Stay on target.
The absent doctor. We're getting mauled in the background. He's sitting there making notes.
I can't think of anything. So I'm gonna put 2 of my readiness towards initiative. D10 plus.
I'm just gonna.
Do 10. Okay. If all 3 of you got 10s, I was going to be a little left out.
And that means I have 3 left for determination.
Okay. I think that's all of you.
Put it. I'm just gonna put the rest of my readiness into my determination.
Reese, I need a roll-off, my dude.
What do you want me to roll?
1d10, if you please.
Just 1.
Hey, don't feel bad. At least you're not going dead last.
This is true.
Whereas the guy who's probably the second combat-focused member of the party is dead last. And he needs a turn to set up. So you guys can keep him busy for a round, right?
Should be able to.
Yeah, we should.
Alright. Well then. Daxon,
Yes, sir.
as the nearest one and within melee range, hey! You're the first one up. The Shambler seems all too interested in munching you.
Alright.
Or punching you. Or whatever it wants to do. Whatever it is, it very clearly wants to make you hurt.
Alright, I'm assuming Daxon has never seen anything like this before.
Well, I mean, the closest thing he's ever seen would probably be some strung-out druggie who, had had a little bit too much adrenaline and not enough sense.
Well, Daxon is going to step up. What would it be to move onto the ammo case?
It would count as difficult terrain, simply because it's about,
Okay.
it's just above knee height, so it's at an awkward stage where it's a little hard to get up on top of it, but it's not, oh, hey, I've got to climb on it.
Alright, so I'm going to go 1, 2, and either 3 or 3, 4. Either way I can make it because I have a high movement. And I am gonna smack him on the nose for being rude.
How dare you snarl at me while I rooted through your belongings? Heck you, sir.
Daxon is gonna make a point of unless otherwise because he has the moral high horse thing, he's gonna be using non-lethal force unless otherwise specified. Or unless these things just are impossible to knock out. Vitae demons, for instance. But that'd be metagaming.
Catches oneself. Damn it.
Yeah. But no, he's going to be using non-lethal force unless otherwise specified. He's going to be beating the ever-living crap out of them, but... let me see here. I have a body of 2, CQC of 3, and a melee attack bonus of 3.
Make the roll.
So DC, that is let's see, 2d8 plus
6
have to double check.
plus-
My baton is plus 4, and then plus ranks and you do add your ranks and CQC
Yeah.
to hit, right?
Yes.
I can
Yes.
I always get confused which one you add to damage and which one you add to attack.
Right? I have a similar problem. So
Because when I hear melee attack bonus, I think to hit, not to damage.
I think it's like the bonus is both, I guess?
No.
No.
it's
No,
strictly
it's not.
just for damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
What you do with melees and what we do with ranged is you add. So you got your stat die, right? Mind or body.
Mm-hmm.
Then you add your CQC or ranged attack score.
Mm-hmm.
Then you add the weapon's accuracy stuff, if it has any. In the other campaign, I play a character who uses unarmed attacks, and I don't have that attack bonus, so it's literally just slapping things and hoping it works.
GoldenEye slappers only. Alright.
That hits.
Yay! So let's see, that is open up my combat items thing. That is 3d6 damage plus my melee attack bonus, which is plus 3. 6, 3. Plus 2, because I have, what is that thing called? I have Strong Arm, which is plus 2 damage when fighting unarmed or with a one-handed melee weapon. And that should actually be 3d6. So I'm just going to roll an additional d6. Okay. That is 16 damage.
Okay. Congratulations. One turn wound.
And
also,
get to hit back.
Ian gets first blood.
Yep. As he bops it on the nose.
I don't think there's any victory points for that in this game.
No, but he can put a little plaque on his desk that says "First Blood."
With a button on it that says it in the Quake voice whenever you press it.
All right, you gonna go for it again?
Does he get to hit back, or does he not get to hit back because he hasn't acted yet?
Oh no, he can. I just wanted to know if you were gonna swing a second time.
Yes.
Okay. Give me one moment while I do my roll then.
Okay. That is a miss. My evade is 14 plus 4 against melee. Yeah, because I have the shield. So that would be So I effectively have an evade of 18 in melee.
Okay. Go ahead with your second attack.
All right.
Well, we have a Pathfinder fighter on our team.
A 1E fighter at that.
Hey Daxon,
I missed, didn't I?
that's a hit.
Oh!
Sweet. All right, so 3d6 because I'm silly. Plus 3 plus 2. Is that right? Yes. Double checking. Yeah, that's right. Swinging. Oh.
Oh!
That is a second wound.
Sweet. All right. He gets to swing back. That is the end of my actions because I moved and then swung twice. That is a miss. That is also a miss. All right. Ba, ba, ba. 17,
Oh my god.
Okay, good hit.
and then 14 damage.
This is why you
The
wear
baton
armor,
does
kids.
very reliable damage, and I like it.
It's reliable.
Yeah, I mean they're versatile. It's because you can use them two-handed as well. It's just a lower.
Same with the sword.
Yeah,
That's lower.
that is also a miss. Thank you, shield and baton.
Just to
Uh,
mention it, do you have
You're
to,
getting it again?
they have to beat your evade score to hit you, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
No,
That's not possible.
No,
reach is enough.
yeah. If you reach it and match it without any like, I'm gonna add a +1 or I'm gonna re-roll or anything like that.
Oh,
It's
so
a
it's a
critical.
critical hit,
perfect roll then.
It's
and you
correct.
get and then you get exploit on it.
Well, he needs a perfect roll to even touch you, so.
Yeah. Daxon, for this retaliatory strike, is actually going, because it's not a large shield, is actually going to... Oh, it is a medium shield. Hang on. I want to see if I can two-hand this. Medium shield. Uses no hands, but the user may not dual-wield weapons or fire precise shots. It doesn't say anything about two-handing a melee weapon.
I would say because you can't dual wield, you can't double.
Okay, fair enough.
I just because it means that it kind of gets in the way of the swing, not because you can't, physically pick things up with both hands, but again because it's kind of in the way. It's just big enough.
Well, here's the thing. Large shields specifically say you cannot use two-handed weapons.
That does change things. Then.
Yeah. Requires a free hand to use. User may not dual-wield weapons, use two-handed weapons, or fire precise shots. These tower shields are large enough to provide full cover from one direction when rooted. So when I upgrade to a large shield, that is going to be absolutely correct. But
All right. I'll
the
let you
medium,
then.
yeah.
That makes sense.
So my attack bonus is going down to +1 to hit, or sorry, +2 to hit from +4, and I'm going to be using D10s instead of D6s.
Okay.
So there is my to hit roll. Can
That's a critical.
Oh my god.
I?
Oh my
Yay.
god.
Wow. Okay. So that is 3d10 plus 3. Sorry, no, I actually don't get the +2 because I'm using it two-handed, but I'm swinging d10s instead. And it has exploit, which means it gets an additional wound on top of the wound that I am doing for free. Or on top of the damage that I'm doing, rather. So it does 1 wound plus damage, which is that.
Oh.
Okay, so 2 wounds.
Yep.
You're gonna knock them both out before I even get a chance to fire a shot.
I mean, we want to remain quiet as possible.
I'm sorry, but I'm not.
Sorry.
I'm sorry you might not be able to do anything to this guy in particular, but I hope I knock him out, because if I don't, I'm going to be scared.
I don't blame you.
So here's let's see how this goes. Okay. Oh, there's a reason why the number changed for this, and I'll explain it in a minute. That doesn't hit you. Okay. He lunged at you
Uh-huh.
Oh.
in an attempt to grab you.
Uh-huh.
So,
That still wouldn't have hit.
yeah, no. He
What
missed.
got in his eyes?
Yep.
Well, that's just it. As you've been beating it,
Mhm.
the blood that comes out is discolored. It's not red.
Lovely.
Burn with fire.
It's not green or purple or any gross nonsense like that. It's more like somewhere between a purple and the dark red you'd see with coagulated blood.
So it's old.
It looks like that, but it still sprays like new blood. Like regular blood.
Mm.
It just looks wrong. And you can tell because you've broken your fair share of noses.
Yep.
As Dr. Reese sees that,
It just goes, oh no.
well, not oh no. It's like I'm gonna need a sample of that.
Good
Give me
thinking.
a sample. As you beat that thing, give me a sample. I'll have plenty of samples on the end of my baton.
Pretty much.
Okay, Lucifer, it's your turn. Dr. Lucy.
I know. I'm
Hey.
thinking.
Paging Dr.
Paging.
Lucy. MD.
I'm going to 1, 2, 3. My way over here. Come on. Turn, you stupid. Okay. Can I use damage assessment to see how wounded that gator is?
No. For the following reason. It is not a vector. It is not a cog. It is also not a bioprobe. It is no kind of living entity that you are familiar with. So you literally have no idea whether or not it's damaged enough to go down soon or not. Its behaviors are erratic, and I'm giving you this information to help you understand why I'm denying you your damage assessment.
Okay.
It's not because you don't have the skill to figure that out eventually. It's that you've literally seen this thing for like a few seconds. You'd need another round minimum before you'd be able to make any determination on that.
Okay.
So I will allow it next round, but this round I will not give it to you.
Would it be
Okay.
fair to say that that information was the result of his attempt at a damage assessment?
Yes, that is the result of your attempt at damage assessment. You can't tell yet, but you know you could figure it out if you had more time to study and look at this bugger. So I'm still counting it as the action, and yes, I know you didn't get the information you wanted, but now you know this is distinctly in a class of its own. It's not a blip, it's not a bioprobe, it's not any living thing you've ever seen before. So there you go.
Okay, so I tell the rest of the guys that I don't know what these things are, but I need more time to analyze. And I would like to use command and assist the others.
Okay, in what capacity?
Like finding out where their weak points are, so to speak.
Okay. And is that all at the end of your turn then?
I moved. I try using damage assessment, and I do the command. So yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. That sounds about right. Cecily?
I shall start with a move action.
Alright. Go get him, Officer Drumstick.
Oh,
Harsh, but funny.
3, 4, 5,
Hey man!
6, and a turn, so I can actually see.
Hey man, all I'm gonna say is that with all that fluff and all that training, Cecily's gotta have a great pair of legs.
I mean, she probably does.
Just saying, man.
The bird did not skip leg day.
I would
Pretty
like,
She never skips leg day.
I would like to shoot the one in the back.
Go for it.
Also, she must have done some good, like, yoga, too.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I mean, here's a good point. If you haven't read any of the, go ahead and make your rolls and whatnot. If you haven't read any of the little blurbs on what it takes for the bird vectors to learn how to fly effectively, they literally have to climb up ladders with just their arms, while the ladders are on an incline. I'll say, oh, you're just going straight up and down. No, they're doing the monkey bar thing on ladders.
Yeah.
And-
Also not alternating both arms up a rung at once.
Yeah. Also, she must have like a great tone as hell arms.
Exactly, that's what I was gonna say. So, like, of all of us, I'd have to say Cecily's probably the most line ripped that you can't see because she's just so fluffy.
Also, she may not look that physically intimidating, but damn.
Now then, you ready with those rolls?
Just a second. Just need to find my
No worries.
stats there.
No worries, my friend. I love that Dr. Lucifer is hiding out behind the turret.
Look, I'm just collecting samples of old blood while he's doing this. I'm a doctor, of course.
I am
I can analyze
assuming
this
that
later.
hits.
That hits, Tygon. That hits indeed. Take those shots. Cecily has no time for bullshit.
So that is regular handgun there. 4 plus 2d4 plus 2.
Okay, solid damage.
And third action, another shot.
Alright, go for it.
Wait, did one of us take the shotgun?
That hits.
And damage.
Okay. Congratulations. A wound.
Yay! And what shotgun?
The
The
shotgun.
shotgun that the sergeant had, the security sergeant had on the main deck.
It's probably ID locked. So we don't have time to crack something like that. I don't think we have the ability to crack something like that.
It's possible that you could have something theoretically that's like, do you have any sort of security clearance, and people with IRPF clearance could qualify for that, but that's like kind of a pedantic argument that I could only see rarely.
Yeah, it's also. I mean, you could probably argue that no, as IRPF officers, we should be able to blah 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 blah. On the other hand, these are like the corporation's private security people.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it'd be more likely if we were like ASR.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is a quick guy right over there.
And it's also getting us an advantage without paying anything.
Yeah.
That's the bigger problem I'd have with it.
Look, I am just asking.
Oh, crud, now it's in melee.
Daxon, both of those attacks were against you.
Hmm. The 16 misses. Let me see.
So you have evade of 18, so...
Yeah,
Hold
no,
on.
both.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah, I was just saying, let him cover his stats.
Yep. Yeah. Nope. Both of those miss. Because my evade does not change when I use the baton two-handed. I'm still using my shield. It's just the only thing that changes is I'm sacrificing attack bonus for damage.
Yep. Nope, it's all good. Alright, go ahead and attack one of them.
Okay. Because the other thing, as I'm rolling to hit here, the other thing that I get is I can sacrifice my retaliatory strike to add my attack bonus to my defense and just block incoming hits, thanks to a technique. But I'm attacking back two-handed, which means my bonus goes from +4 to +2. That's a reload result.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. It happens. And that means I would not be able to counterattack with the other, would I? Until I spend a... Well, no. Could I spend the counterattack reloading or steadying myself?
I don't think so.
I think
you
it
have
has to be an
actually take
action.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure it has to be an action. Yes, Tygon.
You could argue it both ways. 'Cause, a reload to reload it takes an attack action, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And when somebody basically takes an action while you're in close combat with them, you are allowed to make an attack action.
Oh. Well, if it's worded like that, I would argue that you can. It's just you essentially waste that attack.
I'm checking now.
It makes
Just so that
sense.
I
Like,
remember
I'm not
reload
saying you
correctly.
couldn't do it that way. I'm just saying I don't think it's supposed to work that way, but it might. It might.
Yeah.
You just kind of
Yeah.
take the hits and call it good as you pick up your weapon again.
Yeah. Or if you're if for whatever reason you get to make a similar reaction, like with a gun that actually uses ammo, it's pretty easy to line up a target and squeeze the trigger like 3 or 4 times. It's also moderately easy to just go like that.
Reloading is indeed an attack action.
Okay. So
And,
then the wording I would check next is the free thing that you get actually called an attack action.
if any one person in a close combat uses a non-bonus attack action, all other participants in that combat can use an attack action if they have a melee weapon equipped.
There you go.
Alright, I'm gonna call that good then.
Yeah, so-
if you so choose, I will allow it.
Yeah, Daxon will take the moment to. We'll say he has his baton on a lanyard and he lost his grip and has to flick it back into his hand. He overbalanced himself and almost dropped his weapon.
Right. That said, that does mean you can't fight against these two.
Okay.
Because this is the moment while you're getting it back.
Fair enough.
Okay. Alright, so both of those miss. Okay. They miss, you may roll against one of them.
One of them. All right. Oh, swinging two-handed. Can I +1 that 3?
I will allow it, yeah.
And it is not a critical hit because it was an adjusted.
Mm-hmm. But it is a hit.
Yep.
Which one are you hitting?
The
The
one
one
I've been
I-
damaging.
It's unless it changed, I understand, you have to attack the one whose turn it is now.
Yeah, that would be the one I...
Okay.
Yeah. Your return attack must be against the person whose turn it is, unless that person is out of range.
Okay. Cool.
Tremor poles.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Ooh.
That is a nice roll.
That. Yeah. Bunk. Bunk.
That's a
Bunk.
wound.
Bunk. 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 Just
Stop resisting arrest!
just furious hyena giggling from the police officer and furious like wiffle bat bonking sounds.
Honestly, I don't hear that. I hear the bonk from Team Fortress 2.
This is also acceptable.
Alright, Newsig. You're up, big guy.
Okay, first time I'm going to go through the steps because this is the first time I've done it. Shatter step. I turn on my camouflage.
Okay.
And for my first action, I'm going to make a body exert sneak check, combat sneaking. Since my camo gives me the initial conditions for it. And I'm going to be moving here. So I have to roll a stealth check against their ability to detect me. I have sneak attack, the technique which complicates their rolls to detect me. Okay. It didn't say what the difficulty was, though.
It probably just says under post checks. I believe it's just 2 by default.
Okay. Alright, so then my stealth roll.
Yeah, difficulty begins at 2.
Ooh.
Alright.
This is why I need body dice.
Would be handy.
Well, you're in luck because both of them are busy. So I'm gonna say that's what happened, is that they're busy.
Okay.
So
Second
they
action.
didn't notice you.
Alright, so I'm now considered in stealth. Second action, I'm going to set up my emplacement rig. And for my third action, I'm going to take a shot at... Yeah, I'm going to have to do the one with the yellow eye.
Yep.
Because otherwise I'm shooting, I might hit. Yeah.
Don't hurt the yeet.
No, not might hit, will hit.
No, you have the
Okay.
see, you have single target on that gun. You don't have
No,
to
I
use
don't.
line.
No, the gun is line.
It also says
Oh,
single
it does
target.
have single target.
Mm-hmm.
Though I admit I'm grateful that you're taking advantage of the line thing, because that's heckin' cool.
Well, I want
It is.
to, but they're in the wrong formation. So,
Yeah.
alright, I'm going to take a single target at the yellow. First shot from stealth has prone and exploit. Since I'm within 10 yards, my stealth is now gone. Okay. So difficulty 2, I have 3 in mind.
Is a yard 3 feet?
Yes.
Yes.
Didn't know that.
A yard and a meter are actually very roughly identical in distance.
Okay.
Which makes conversion really handy because it's. I believe there's some mathematical imprecision there, but it's in just ballparking terms, it's actually really easy.
A decently tall man is roughly 2 meters.
A yard
Actually,
is
that's a pretty tall man.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's a tall guy, and then
okay,
2 yards is a 6 foot man.
Mhm.
So like you can kind of see how that's a little off compared to each other based on that.
Yeah. 1 meter is basically rounding up is 1.1 yards.
Okay.
So it's not a massive difference, but it's enough that if you were to do that a far enough distance, it'd be like way off.
Okay.
Mhm.
Sorry sorry for the tangent.
No, it's all good. Newsig.
Yeah.
Is that your attack?
That's my attack.
Do you have any focus or determination or anything to do the reroll?
No.
You missed.
I know I missed.
However, it
wait,
makes a very.
That's with even. I missed even with prone involved.
What does the prone do?
Reduces their evade by 5.
Oh, well, I wish you had mentioned that that's what that did.
I did. I said first shot from stealth applies exploit and prone.
Oh, yeah, but I didn't know what prone did.
Ah,
Yes.
okay. Well, it has changed since nobody's used it before. So,
Yeah,
yes,
no
it
worries.
was
Thank you. Then yes, that definitely hits.
awesome. So 1 wound before rolls, and then
I've literally had no one use this before, so that's why I'm like, I have no idea what that is. I should probably know. Okay, nice shot.
Oh, but you haven't rolled to see which one of them you hit.
I didn't need to. I chose the alternative option, which complicates the shot for every ally in melee. So I complicated my shot by 1.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That is really cool.
I didn't know that was still a thing.
Yeah, it's in there. So since I had 1 ally in melee, I complicated the roll to a difficulty 3.
Well, good job, because that's its third wound. Pew!
And that's my 3 actions.
A very loud BAM! And a rifle round cuts through him. Daxton, you're very grateful that that is a rifle not pointed at your back and at them instead.
Daxon kind of does it like an involuntary, like shit jump.
Oh shit!
Like he expected maybe like kind of a pat 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 from a handgun, or something like that. In the back of his mind, he forgot that somebody's toting a rifle behind him.
A pretty big one too.
Yeah.
Going by that damage roll, holy crap.
Yeah.
Now then,
Good job,
Daxton,
man.
it is the top of the table, your turn.
Okay. You hear a muffled shit from the officer, and he's gonna continue wailing on the one that he was wailing on, Mr. Red Eyes. There.
You quit doing all them drugs and getting yourself these bloodshot eyes. What's wrong with you?
Stay down, punk.
Get off my lawn.
You punks.
Alright, yeah, that hits.
All right. For Boppy. Oh.
Okay, that's... Wow, alright, you guys are very angry. You do not have any time for these shambling mess heads. Screw you guys!
Batons are scary, man. What the heck?
I mean, it helps that you're fighting with an enemy who has a very terrible evade score,
Yes.
so it allows you to take advantage of that.
All right. No.
Nyeh. And nyeh.
This is one of the reasons why he's fighting non-lethal. He's like, yeah, they're trying to kill him, but they're also like not so much a threat that he's like, oh my god, these things are going to tear me apart limb from limb. More, his thought process is these things are a danger to themselves and others more than like, holy crap, this thing is a monstrosity that I have to put down. It's swinging again.
You do hit. You do damage.
I do hit. I do 20 more damage, and I am going to roll for bonus attack.
Okay.
That's 2d10. Yay! I get to smack him again. Oh, that's the wrong thing. That's the right thing.
Okay.
Hang on, I need to pull up a calculator here for a second because I can't add in my brain space. I did 20 plus 14 plus 17. Yeah, that's 51 damage in a single round. That's pretty decent.
Right. Right then. So, if I remember right, that should put them here for wounds.
He just he's panting and heaving with exertion as he lays into this asshole, and is just like, please stop resisting.
Okay. Now then, as it's attempted, you have staggered it, and it is unable to move properly.
Okay.
By staggered, I mean its head is now facing the wrong direction.
Oh.
It's still swinging, though. It's just swinging the wrong way.
I've inverted his control scheme.
It takes a moment and grabs the side of its head, and with a sickening crunch, shoves its face back in your direction. Its head is slightly lopsided, but it's still attached.
Daxon's just standing there, sword and baton, is just like, what?
Dr. Lucifer, I will now give you that damage assessment, my friend, if you should like it.
Paging Dr. Lucifer, MD.
Are you muted?
Motherfucker.
You were muted, aren't you?
Yep.
It happens.
So, it's time for the damage assessment.
Yep.
Okay.
The damage assessment is, that's impossible.
Alright, so, Lucifer, you've taken the time to study these beings, and you have come to a very startling and disturbing conclusion. Officer Jackson's non-lethal things will never stop this. It won't ever stop coming unless he switches to a more lethal tactic. He literally must kill it. There's no other option. That said, it's taken enough physical damage that it's at a breaking point. If he was to continue to press it and then swap to a lethal to finish it, within 2 more wounds, it will be down. But he has to do a lethal blow to it in order to stop it. Otherwise, it won't stop coming. No matter how hard you hit it, no matter what you do, if you don't finish it, it keeps coming.
I'm gonna say to the entire group, they are not Vector. Not anymore. We have to use lethal force. They will
And after that horrid display, I'm pretty sure Daxon is very much convinced that yes, that is necessary.
It also adds non-lethal force, but only let them keep coming. Lethal force is the only way to kill them.
I'll respond to that on my chatter step.
Anything else for this step, my friend?
I'm going to...
Punch them in the face.
Oh no.
Yes, after just saying that non-lethal doesn't work, I'm going to punch it in the most blatant non-lethal attack I've got.
Yes.
Alright, I'm going to...
He's gonna Fist of the North Star and blow it up.
I wish.
Actually, not even like Fist of the North Star where it just explodes gruesomely. No, just like pixelated 2D sprite fireball.
What, going with this? Street Fighter?
Yes.
I can't
Sounds
do
more
that.
like Doom.
Okay. So, the most lethal thing I can have is stuff. God damn it.
I enjoy greatly that everyone's tokens have to be upside down to see them.
Well, that's because the cone.
I know, it's very entertaining to see everyone upside down and sideways. Meanwhile, they're just like, argh!
Alright then, I'm going to, I'm gonna try and jump into melee. Or better yet, no, not yet. I'm gonna take up my pistol, lead it with lethal rounds, and for my second action, I'm going to. Better yet, I'm just gonna load up my pistol up. I'm going to use command to support the others again.
Damage assessment is an action.
Okay,
Exactly.
damage.
So
I know.
your damage assessment,
Switching
and
ammunition
if I
would be an
remember right,
action too.
swapping ammo
Yeah,
would be an action as well. And so if you move, that's it, and that's
Yeah,
fine.
so, yeah, I'm gonna move back here, and that's it.
And that's fine. Because now that you've realized, oh, these things are angry, and that I have to use it as a fourth. Yeah, I don't blame the doctor for realizing I am not a close combat character, and I don't want to get anywhere near these things. Please don't.
But
don't
he would if he
nibble
needs to. He would if he needs to.
my Cecily,
Mhm.
it is now your turn. Good luck, Burb.
I would like to continue shooting. Just shooting that one. So I'm gonna roll to see which one in that melee I hit. I'm just gonna roll 1d3 and basically 1. Dexon is 2, and that one at the bottom would be.
Is 3. Got it. 1, 2, 3 in a
Oh.
clockwise formation.
Yes.
All right, so you hit the
But,
you hit the one that's closest to going down.
If I do hit. There, that's my attack roll.
Okay, that's a hit.
Excellent. There, damage.
Okay, nice shot.
Second action, same as the first. 1d.
Second verse, same as the first.
A little bit
That's
louder
the
and a little
idea.
bit worse.
Okay,
Oh, look!
I'm hitting the intended target this time.
Yay!
Yay!
Nuggle.
Good. Okay, that's a hit.
And
No
here's
bully, no bully giggle doggo
the-
with your bullets.
the damage.
Okay. That's pretty good.
And I'm trying for a third attack action.
Go for it.
Was
Roll a 2d10.
let's roll 2d10 minus 3 because pistol. Nope, too much.
Oh.
Dang it.
Yeah, it's really cool that pistols give you a bonus to bonus actions.
Yeah.
I think that's a really clever idea, a really clever way to make pistols interesting and different.
Mhm.
Instead of
Mhm.
just being guns but shittier.
Unfortunately,
Okay,
I probably didn't cause a wound there because the damage got spread around.
Okay, Daxon. It
Alright.
has attempted another lunge at you.
Okay.
So, it missed.
Alright, well, after seeing that gruesome display of horribleness, Daxon is going to stare in shock for a split second and then try and kill it.
Alright. Okay, so you're attacking old One Eye there.
Yeah.
That makes sense why he has only one eye, and why he doesn't seem to bother him at all in combat. He doesn't need it.
Yeah.
Oh, and he will not to see the world.
And that's
Alright.
19 damage, presuming it hits.
Yeah, that's a hit. Like I said, they don't have very good high evade. They have a decent endure, just crappy evade.
It's because they have no friggin' self-preservation instincts anymore.
Alright. Ever closer. One of these times they're gonna get you.
One way or another, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna stop singing.
And they're gonna affect you.
Okay, there you go.
Alright, and then another attack.
Go ahead.
Counter attack.
Ooh.
A hit.
Fairly reliable damage, too.
Okay. Nusig,
Yep.
it's your turn.
Yep. So I'm gonna take my embankment down and disable it while shouting out to Daxon. You're doing great, Daxon. Wonderful job. And then I'm gonna move 4. So right here. And then I'm gonna make a line shot.
Okay, that's not a bad idea.
Finish
Alright. So
Finish him.
So this is one complicate with no simplifies, unfortunately. But both I'm shooting against both of them. So I roll damage separately, but it looks like it's the same to hit roll.
Yeah, go ahead and make your roll, my dude.
Ooh.
Nice! Nicely done. Okay, so the first one takes that. Yeah, I'm gonna need a second damage.
Oh
Okay,
my god.
nice. Just put another round through the two of them. That's how you do.
God dang.
Like I imagine, like Sniper Elite 2, you just kill 2 people with 1 bullet.
I'm sure Daxon is still very much uncomfortable with the fact that a sniper is just literally in these close quarters on a ship.
Yep.
It's like,
Well, he's a
I mean,
spacer. His full thought, his first thought is, what if he misses and puts a round through a bulkhead?
Oh no.
That's his thought. Like, he's used to getting shot in the butt. Like, that's happened a couple times in this game. Like,
Alright, Daxon. Nusig, is there anything else for you on this turn?
That is my 3 actions.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure. Alright, Daxon,
yep.
it's your turn.
Okay, well, he's very uncomfortable with using lethal force, even if it is against something this horrifying, but, well, here it goes. He's attacking Mr. Red Eyes because he's been wailing on that one a lot.
Red Eyes Green Dragon.
What?
He's making a Yu-Gi-Oh pun.
Alright, go ahead.
Oh,
Alright. So, you're using lethal force with this?
yep.
Congratulations. You smash your baton one more time into its face, and its skull crumbles beneath it. A oozy spray comes out of it, what remains of it, but the body slumps to the ground. It twitches, but no more so than anything else that was experiencing the nerve loss of its brain.
And with his follow-up attack, he's gonna turn to the other one and smack it with lethal force. Or no, he's not. I'm gonna retcon that. Daxon is so horrified at the fact that what he just did, he's actually just gonna like kind of take a step back and like stare in shock.
Meanwhile, because you were finishing off something in melee, the other one gets an opportunity to swing. It's terrible at it, but it's trying.
It's trying, and I'm gonna roll for a bonus action. I do not succeed. Daxon is very much stunned.
Lucifer,
Okay. Picking up the pistol. First, I'm going to assess how damaged it is. The one-eyed.
okay. Yep. It is 4 remaining wounds.
Okay, I'm gonna try and fire.
Okay. Roll a 1d2. 1 is the zombo thingy, and the 2 is Daxon.
Come on. Just let me get a...
Daxon's number 2.
I know, just give me... I'd like, just give me 1, please.
Yay!
Finally!
Yay! Okay, now make your attack roll. Hey Daxon, you're
Yes?
still the shit and not being made into shit.
8 plus... Hold on, let me check the handgun real quick again. Was it 3?
Yes.
Okay. So 3 plus 1.
It hits.
Thank God. Okay. So for damage... Oh wait, I ran it down. So 2d4 for... What's my range attack bonus? Not 2d4, 2d4.
Okay. Not bad. So you did damage assessment and you did a shot.
Yeah,
I think you get one more action.
like I can roll for a bonus attack.
No, you only have attacked once.
Yeah, one attack once.
So you can just make another extra attack. The only reason I have to roll for bonus attacks is because I spent 2 actions attacking.
Oh, okay. So I can attack again? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because damage assessment is a support action.
Right.
You only need to roll for bonus action when you want to do an action a third time.
And that's any time you want
Oh!
an action the third
Oh.
time.
You need to roll 1d2 before you take this shot. Remember
God
that.
damn it. I forgot. Ah!
It's okay. I'm going to take that, whatever, for better or for worse. That is the shot you make.
Please roll a 1. Please roll a 1. Please roll a 1.
I
There
did.
you go. You rolled a 1. For
Jackson
once,
isn't getting
that
shot
is
in the
a good
butt
roll.
today.
Hopefully.
Don't worry, I'll pull the bullet out of your spine.
Yeah, after he's paralyzed.
Alright, go ahead and roll your damage.
Congratulations, you just turned the Yin into Professor Xavier. Minus the psychic powers.
But that's the fun part of Professor Xavier.
Exactly.
Yay!
Plus-
So that's a wound. Yay!
2
Lucy,
wounds made
you
by the
did it!
doctor.
You helped in combat in a verifiable way!
Yeah.
In 2 different ways, actually.
Straight up unironic good job there. Those are some pretty good shots.
Alright. Cecily, it is now your turn.
Yes, I will continue shooting. But this time I'm gonna take the route of complicating my attack, so I won't risk hitting Daxon.
Is that a technique?
No, that's just something you can do.
Oh.
Okay.
So basically it becomes a difficulty 3 in exchange for not. That's really cool, actually.
Yeah, well, it's 1 complication for each ally in that combat.
So that could get bad really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But since these guys don't have such a great evade, I am confident. So that should be it.
But RNGs will say something else. Oh!
I think that hit.
I think that's a
Yeah,
critical!
that's a hit.
No, it's not.
No, that's not how criticals work. It has to meet their evade exactly. That's
Oh,
what
okay.
makes it a much more rare situation. That's why Daxon's critical hit was so out of the ball, because he rolled really, really terribly. But that's exactly what he needed.
Yeah.
Which is a weird thing to say, but it's like that's kind of the circumstance we're in.
Yep.
Yeah.
In my game yesterday, there was an opponent who had such a low evade that several party members actually couldn't critical hit because they couldn't roll that low.
Wow.
One person got a
sad.
critical hit on a reload result.
Good, that is sad.
Yep.
Yep. It is.
Which, I'll be
Right.
honest, is a little
That's-
weird.
That is damage.
Gesundheit.
Gesundheit.
Excuse me.
Apfel Gesundheit.
Ugh, sorry. There's never only one.
Mhm.
Alright. Cecily, go ahead.
Yeah, second shot.
Good luck.
Good luck,
Ugh,
Commander.
Ugh.
I am
that's a miss.
just going to reroll that one.
Go for it.
Are you sure you don't want to just +1 that one?
You can't
No.
+1 it. Okay.
Alright, that works. That's a hit then.
So there's the damage.
Alright, nice. A wound.
Why can't I there? Down to 2 determination. And then I would like to try for a third attack.
Okay.
2d10 minus 3. Nope. That means I am done for this round.
Okay. Time for Ugly McFugly Nuts.
Rude. Maybe he was born that way.
Well, he shouldn't have been.
Well, at least the infection made him a bit of improvement.
Rude.
Again, it's his fault. Ah, ugh, okay, that's a little wonky. Sorry. Trying to adjust something else and it's being mean to me.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay,
No.
it's so close every time.
So close yet so far.
Okay, go ahead.
Dax, that means you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Blah. Counterattacking.
I think you're only melee now.
Yeah, right now. Alright.
Look, I can go melee, but I'm rather shit.
Oh.
Oh, damn.
And this is after I should clarify, this is after he spent an attack action to recover from the reload result.
Yeah, hang
Actually,
on.
I couldn't have made that attack then, because it's not my turn yet. Sorry, I got
Yeah,
my turn
that's
order
okay.
mixed up.
No, you're good.
So
I
actually,
was just letting you know. My bad.
yep. So actually, that attack didn't happen, and instead of attacking, I'll have recovered from the reload. So we good now. It's just blah 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 blah. That's also a miss. Now can I counterattack?
Yes.
Cool. Bop. And oh.
Oh! Oh!
Well
Can we-
then.
Like, can we just copy paste this and just pin it on the documents part of our Discord server?
Well, congratulations. You have successfully finished this fight. With lethal force, you smash its lower jaw and upend its head until it, in a very disgusting sound, its own neck caves in. its head is barely dangling from it. The body spasms, stumbles towards you, and falls past you and over behind the turret.
Like, could we do, like, for flavor that his head exploded?
That's
No,
essentially what happened. He just
internal-
literally clocked it under the jaw, and it just clunk. The ultimate uppercutted it into oblivion. Good on ya.
Yeah, he internally decapitated it is basically what just happened. Like, yeah, the fleshy bits are still attached, but there's no spine attached anymore, and none of the veins are properly attached either, which means no
Yeah.
vitae to the head.
And, during the, adrenaline slowly dying down, Doctor's going to holster his pistol, take out a couple vials, and start collecting the, blood off of both of these people. Or what used to be.
Jackson kind of takes a moment to breathe as he kind of leans on his knees, panting and trying not to throw up.
Well-
I'll need a moment, sorry.
As you have finished off what could only be described as monsters, the console comes to light.
Interesting.
Cecily, music, you check it out? As I just
this
collecting.
one here.
Sure.
Okay.
As I finish getting simple stuff with that, I just contain it cleanly, and then head to the next one.
Oops.
Nusig, Cecily, as you approach the now lit up console, you see a masked face of sorts. And then a text box at the bottom of the screen. In dull blue text. Not all that unsimilar than the background of the screen itself. It's a very simple question.
Mhm.
Who are you?
Were they playing a dating game before they jumped into that?
Wow. Low blow.
What kind of mask, out of curiosity?
It's one of those ones you see occasionally at ASR carnivals. The kind that make silly emotions on it. This one's
Oh.
blank, though.
So basically zero.
Heh.
Yeah, something kind of like that. They make emoticons and emoji type things appear over it. It uses AR, so unless you're using AR goggles, you generally can't see it. But this is simply that sort of mask.
I'm going to finish collecting samples out of this one.
What should we say?
We'll just tell him who we are. We're passenger. Oh, what the?
Oh, what the hell? I did not turn that blue.
I did.
Okay.
I put it on the wrong layer.
Okay.
Tell him we are passengers on a ship that got damaged and that we're looking for spare parts so we can
I
Get
don't
I don't think that's gonna fly.
though. I have a bad feeling about this.
You go back to your bodies.
Yeah,
I
you
finished that?
Yeah, but this is happening at the same time.
Okay.
Cecily, why don't we just tell them the truth?
That's what I said.
Well, you said we were passengers.
Yeah, passengers on a
Right.
ship that got damaged, and we got here, so we're looking for spare parts.
Yeah,
Alright, does there be like a keyboard that we type that in, or do we just have to say it out loud? Or maybe he hears us. Maybe they hear us.
Probably a keyboard on the terminal. Rage?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There
Assuming...
is a keyboard attached to this terminal. This one's much lower down than the others.
Okay.
It looks like it was supposed to be an interface. Based upon the machinery around it, you're guessing this was supposed to be some kind of localized control center or something?
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me think. I'm just gonna type something out. Something like that.
The reply comes a little slowly. Also a little garbled. Almost as if whatever's talking to you can't either think or speak properly anymore.
Oh, we're in good company then.
The text appears. It reads, "Come find me." You're assuming it's supposed to say me, but the E is missing.
Mm-hmm.
It then has a pop-up over the mask and over the avatar. It shows a map of the engineering deck.
Ooh. Handy.
That's useful.
Underneath the map, the text reads toggle.
I'll use the old toggle we found earlier and put it up to it.
That's a good idea.
The toggle beeps as it downloads it. Apparently, this terminal's face also acts as a smart surface.
Neat. What was the name of the engineering AI according to Max?
Wrench. I'm actually going to ask him that. Are you Wrench?
The answer comes slowly, but in the first time, complete capital letters. Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh, good.
The map has a specific spot, not far from where you're currently at, highlighted with a big blue check mark. The check mark flashes several times. As you look at the toggle and the case that's in, you can tell that that has stayed that way on the toggle's map. It's just south of where you are, out the door from where you... So if you were to head east, out the door, south down the hall, east again, and then south once more, just a short distance away, there's a large room. It's vaguely triangular shaped.
Mm-hmm.
That's the room that has the check mark on it.
Alright, well, it looks like we know where we're going next.
It's a lead.
Yeah.
Wait, next question I want to ask it. How did you know we were here?
The reply is simple. Life signs.
And I'm going to have a sinking gut feeling now.
Why, it's kind of standard for ASR ships to have
It's standard.
engineering that monitors life support.
Well, I mean, if you kind of think about what we were just doing a second ago, and, you know, you could say, oh, it could be this way, it could be that way, but that kind of... That's pretty damning.
How? I don't follow.
I'm going to ask it, what about the two that were in here before us?
non-vector, non-cog. It starts running. You start getting a list of things that it wasn't. Non-drone, non-bioprobe, non. And then it just has a... It starts looking like a list you'd see of almost raw code. And it takes a minute before you realize it's literally showing you its processes. It's not talking to you so much as it is showing you its thinking. And then it stops on the letter, on the unknown designation.
Okay. Just to make sure we get there safely, could you mark on the map where more of these unknowns are?
They're non-vector. They can't be marked.
It marks a few dots. You can see them on the map, but they're very, very far away.
Yeah, well, given that we just had some gunfire go off, there's a chance they may not stay far away. If we can just keep an eye on them, we might not have to do this again.
We can hope.
Wrench replies to this with a sealed, no access.
Nice.
If we turn the power back on, will they become unsealed?
No access.
Works for me.
Good enough. Alright then, let's get what we can from here, and I think we should go visit our new associate.
Yeah, I'd just say check the room, see if there's anything we can salvage. I'll cover the door.
Okay.
So with the bodies, can I do a body perceived medicine check?
I will allow it. What are you looking for?
Just like any recent or old injections, needles, and anything?
Go for it.
And I'd like to search the room for power cells.
You may do that as well. Since you know what you're looking for, I believe it would be engineering. If you have it. Okay, Doctor. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said I do, but go ahead with Reese's first, and then we'll follow up.
Okay. Dr. Lucifer, you're able to determine that neither of these had gotten an injection. However, something you notice sitting inside of the ammo box. There's a needle. There's a syringe. It still has whatever it was in it. It looks very similar to the one that you found outside and empty in the hangar.
Could I do a mind medicine to see if what kind of medical concoction this could be?
That would take testing. It's not something you could just kind of look at and think of. The syringe style and what it looks like is very similar, though. You do remember that. Now I'm just giving it to you.
Okay, so it's like the similar one that we found.
You know, yes. So you know it came from the ship itself.
I'm going to,
Or at the very least, it's still ASR make.
still
Right.
ASR make. Like, I'm going to take the protected syringe and put it into my perk. Okay.
Okay, so you keep it with the rest of your medical kit. Gotcha.
Yeah, just in case.
Yeah, until you can figure out what the hell it's supposed to be.
I mean, yeah, perks are designed to store medicine and medical supplies, so it makes sense.
Alright.
Please try not to
Are you-
accidentally inject it into anybody of us.
I'm not
Please.
that kind of doctor.
I'm a professional.
Who jumps off cliffs.
Now then,
Power
do
cells.
you have anything else to say to Wrench while you're still here?
Um,
Oh, wait,
Does-
power cell first.
Power cells next.
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta do those first. My bad.
That's okay.
Do the roll for me, please.
We only mentioned engineering.
Yeah, you just said
it's
engineering,
a body
and then-
perceive engineering.
Okay.
I tried. I meant to say body perceive engineering
That is
because
okay.
you know what you're looking for.
Difficulty 2, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Nope.
Well, you find some more parts. You're not sure if they're useful. You find some things that look kind of like batteries, but you're not quite sure what they are.
Yeah, I'll take them.
We have
You have
found.
received spare parts. Now, please remember that you guys now have 2 stacks of spare parts.
I'm going to, Oh, before we leave, I'm going to contact, Wes and tell him everything that we found so far.
Please remember that your toggles don't have a soul net to attach to.
I know.
So, if I remember right, the technology doesn't... You can't send messages on your toggle via that?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, that's right. I tried, but I just remembered. Shit.
Would be like trying to send a message with your cell phone without cell reception.
Hell, I can't turn my token.
What?
Like I'm trying to turn my token around, but I won't. But it can't.
That's weird. Dude, it's still controllable by you.
Like I know, but I can't turn it.
To click on something else and then click the token again.
If not, you're gonna want to reload.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. Do you guys have anything else you want to say to Wrench while you're still at this terminal?
Is Wrench able to track any other life signs that are vector or cog? Are there any survivors? Any known survivors?
He responds by showing you a series of processes.
Mm-hmm.
It seems his actual interaction, his social abilities seem to have been crippled somewhere along the line. But he's still able to communicate in the way a computer does.
Mm-hmm.
He shows you several processes that aren't working. One of them is his life support monitoring on every other deck besides engineering.
Okay. We might be able to bring that online.
He can, however, detect how much power is left in the entirety of the ship.
Oh, do that. I type that in.
When you see the numbers, you realize why the emergency lights aren't on in engineering. At the current pace, and he shows you this in raw, cold, hard data. Again, the way a computer thinks. In another few years, this whole ship will go dead. At the current rate of consumption, if he doesn't cut certain systems, whoever's left won't have much. It's got maybe another year, maybe 2. That depends on if... So if you bring anything else online, that'll shorten it significantly. It shows a log of when he started shutting things down, such as the elevators.
So that's why.
Well, at least we're not under a nasty time limit.
I type in. We'll meet you there, as we have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
he responds with all correct. And the terminal, while it doesn't shut off, it resets to just having his avatar showing. It shows a simple emoticon smiley face. Alright. You guys want to get out of the room, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, let me... Doink.
Just let us gather up first.
I gotcha.
Thank you.
Door slides open easily. It still makes that creaky hydraulic noise that's so disconcerting. But nothing breaks. Now then. Alright. Do you remember the directions I gave you for where you need to be?
East, south, east, south. Then east again.
About, yeah.
Alright. Go ahead.
Alright, so I'm assuming this is east?
Yeah, that's south now. I was literally going by the orientation of the map.
Yeah, by the map.
Okay.
It's not literally north, south, east. It's just
Well, yeah, we're in space, for one.
you'll notice as you continue further down that the terminals are on,
Hmm.
emitting a soft but persistent blue glow. You can see Wrench's smiling masked face on every single one. They're pointing you. You also see little arrows on the sides of it, pointing you in the direction you need to go.
I'm assuming this way.
Correct.
Bless you. Oh, holy.
Huh. What's this?
You can see the terminal above and behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Once more, you see the text, all correct. You hear the hydraulics prepping themselves in the massive double doors before you. And the laser that you see ahead of you, that seems to be a sort of security measure, while it doesn't turn off, it blinks. Very, very intentionally in a triple pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All correct. Once more.
So we have to go south. Okay.
Dexon is gonna pick something up and, like, kind of toss it into the laser to make sure that he isn't gonna get vaporized trying to walk through that.
It's blinking off. Just step through it when it's off.
The bolt that you pick up passes through the laser without harm. It's literally just a security laser.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
It's the kind that you can see but doesn't do anything. It sets off alarms for people who aren't supposed to be here.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of thing.
Okay.
So I would probably go first.
Are you
Alright.
kidding? Let Daxon go first.
Yeah, I
Well,
thought that the big tanky guy should be on point.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Daxon should be going first because he's kind of the melee combatant, and I don't want to have to push my way through the rest of the party, too.
no worries. Daxon, as you pass
Yes.
by the laser,
Mm-hmm.
it states authorized access.
Yay.
Neat.
I go there next.
Tell me, you can see light coming off of it, though, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
The laser?
Okay, good. Yeah.
Mhm.
You good?
Mhm.
Good. That was the intention.
Okay.
We couldn't see the light outside of our own cone of vision.
No, I
Oh
can
yeah,
see it.
no, it's not supposed to be outside of your own cone of vision.
Mhm.
It's just, as long as you could see it when you were looking at it, that's good.
Yep.
Well, this room is cold. Bitterly so. You rapidly figure out that the reason for it is very simple. It's a massive server room.
Interesting.
You see a faint blue glow coming from deeper within.
Even though Dr. Lucifer is an ASR, he's gonna say, we'll have to give ASR my regards. They know how to make a server room.
You can see Go ahead.
This was saying we're in space, the best heat sink available.
Actually, technically,
I know how
if
thermodynamics works. He doesn't.
yeah. I was gonna say, actually, that's the polar opposite. Vacuum is a fantastic insulator. It's actually...
Remember, this is the guy who said peanut butter was the answer for what was missing. Don't assume he's actually intelligent.
He's trying. Bless him. The blue light pulses 3 times. The same pattern that you saw with the laser outside.
Oh. I see a big screen.
Oh,
On the screen, you can see the full height of the avatar. The screen is massive, by the way. It's literally as tall as a vector, at least. Behind it, you can see a faint glow of some kind of core. Something. Wrench appears in its full avatar length. It waves politely and then
Aye.
points down to a terminal by its feet.
alright. I kind of type in, nice to finally meet you, Wrench.
Take me.
As in, you want us to remove you from here?
Copy. Take me.
Do we have enough... Daxon is going to turn to the others and say, do we have enough storage capacity to carry an AI with us?
Wrench points down to the terminal again.
Mm-hmm.
A small slot pops open.
Oh. For a toggle?
Inside of it is a fairly large, the sort you just usually associate with pretty significant computer hardware, but it's a data disk.
Ooh.
The big kind. Copy. Backup. For safety. 3 versions. Most intact. Most update. Has all logs. And then it runs down, and then at the screen, the wrench avatar gestures to its side, and you see logs of all the years that the Van Bruin has been still active. He's, for the past several decades, he's been making full engineering reports of the failures of the ship, of what he's been able to detect, what he hasn't been, interactions with the unknown entities, everything.
This could save lives. All this information. We need to get this out of here.
All correct. Wrench seems to have, at least this version of him, seems to have experienced some significant damage to his ability to actually interact in a way that vectors understand properly. He's not like Max.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want us to try and grab a copy of Maria, too, while we're at it?
Copy all AI. Need logs. Other decks. Unaccounted for. Not available. And you start seeing all those sorts of pop-ups show up all over the place. Wrench's hand shows up and he swipes them aside and shakes his head.
So you don't have any of the information for any of the other decks. So if we want all of that data, we need to... Oh boy.
All correct.
I guess we all have to copy all the AIs.
Well, we'll try, but I have a feeling some of them might be too far.
Incorrect. Wrench. Copy.
Oh, gotta copy yourself. I'm gonna look to the others and...
Wrench puts up a text box, and then he scribbles onto it, "will do." And then he puts the sign in front of him. He's trying really hard to work around his limitations, guys.
I know!
So what he's saying is that he is going to make a copy of the other AIs if we're able to get in contact?
Reestablish, repair, relay, access to other AIs, network, restore.
So restore all the other AIs.
And how can we do that?
Relay broken at deck living quarters.
So the deck's broken at the living quarters.
He can't see anything because his first relay to the other decks is broken.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So
if
if you
fix
were to-
that,
He'd potentially be able to access the other ones, and he'd be able to talk to you from his deck.
Oh, okay.
You gotta
So-
remember, he's the engineering AI. He has
Yeah.
access to all decks. The problem
Right.
is he can't, give you the information from them if you don't have the right protocol. He's only doing this because you're the first vector, as you can very quickly read from his various logs and the log he has on the side that you can see he's making as he's had these conversations with you.
Okay.
Everything you've said up to this point has been recorded, and his computering logic as to why he's allowing you to do this is that you're the first vectors who've come down to engineering since his initial cutoff from the other decks.
oh, lovely.
So, kind of look at the others and say, are we all in agreement?
Well, yes, but I think we should also ask a few questions since he has such detailed logs. Maybe he might know what that picture was about.
Though if we do want to go to the medical route, we have to find Maria.
Well, no, Maria's going to be in medical. We just need to find a way to get to there. We should probably ask him to give us a map to where all the key points are. He said his relay was damaged, so if we know where that is, we can go fix it and potentially any other ones that he needs done. But I do want to ask about that image. Because odds are that relay was cut for a reason.
I'm confused.
Well, okay,
Like-
think back to the door we saw when we were first here. That was shot so it could never open.
Mhm.
Then you think about the door we passed on the way through engineering. That was welded from the inside.
Mhm.
Some things have been done intentionally by people who were here before us. If that line was cut by one of those people,
Because there's frickin' those things everywhere, and what I presume is that they were sealed to keep them in or to keep survivors safe. Like, I don't really think it's that. I don't think it's really complicated so much as it's just like survivors attempting to keep quarantines in certain areas.
I still think it would be worth asking if he has any records or his logs of the leading up to the cut.
I'll type that in.
Wrench says yes, he does. He mentioned it. He doesn't have anything clear because most of his logs up to that point have to do with his own deck and only cursory to others. But he does note that there were logged issues because he has access to the central server system. He can get information he technically isn't supposed to have, but because he's been cut off so long, he's been able to essentially circumvent his own programming to allow him to get at that. So he kind of knows what to do and how to keep whatever's left in there alive, whether it's one of the unknowns or not.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Wrench's logic is still preserve life as best as possible and keep the ship running as best as possible for as long as possible.
Yeah.
So,
Doing an admirable job so far.
so there was a log of some kind of infection. He doesn't have any details. You literally have to go to medical to get that. The specifics for that. Some kind of infection, sickness. They originally thought it wasn't anything to worry about, but it spread. It jumped from deck to deck, from vector to vector. It didn't affect the cogs, though. None of the cogs were affected in any way. So it was purely a biological.
Interesting.
And just prior to the cutoff, life signs started dropping all over the ship. It was expansive and fast and exponential. The life signs would go away and then they'd come back, but they wouldn't register as anything known.
So if this wasn't a sickness, this is a plague.
The same thing.
The same thing that infected those. He's going to quote unquote vectors that we fought before.
Well, I think I can say one thing. Based on the timestamp of these logs, this was a very fast transmission. It looks like they almost all got it at once.
It was incredibly rapid. There were several logs of vector life still running around on the deck. It seemed that there was a centralism towards the life pods, but you also note that most life pods failed to get out.
Interesting.
So that brings me to two ideas.
Mhm.
But out of character, Reese would probably know these, but Newsig probably wouldn't. The two most likely vectors for that quick of a spread would be airborne or foodborne.
Or
Yeah, that's-
something else.
Yeah.
I don't know. Fluidborne would be a lot harder to do at that quick of a spread.
There's another method.
Physical contact.
Well, no, that's kind of that's even harder. The only other one that I could think of would be electromagnetic transmissions.
How would that work?
It doesn't.
So, physical contact is the closest thing to what you're getting at. You gotta remember, what's one of the most virulent and quickest ways to get sick from someone else?
Oral transmission? No.
Fluid.
Fluid.
Yeah, fluid to fluid.
Correct.
Yeah.
So,
Reese
I'm helping your characters go through
I know.
it. I know you guys know it.
Hmm.
like Reese would just think on it, and then it just hits him. Fluid transmission.
The bites.
Yep.
The bites.
If it was to get into the saliva, if it was to affect, if they were to have blood in their jaws while they bit, and if it's as fast acting as it seems like, that would explain why it happened this way. It'd be literally just like having the Whisper show up. All it takes is one, and suddenly there's more, because it's able to get one person. And so that's two of them, and then three, and then four, and then exponentially quickly. Unless you put it down rapidly, there you go, epidemic. Nothing to slow it down. Nothing you can do except run. But it looks like... Go ahead.
I was going to say, with Reese sharing that information, Nusik is going to look very hesitantly at Daxon.
I wasn't bit.
You don't have to be bit for fluid to get into your body.
And you can check me out, Doc.
Though...
Didn't get any in my mouth, if that's what you're asking.
Well, if you didn't, I would highly advise you stay out of melee combat with them as much as possible.
His eyebrows kind of rise, and he says, I don't know if you were looking at the same creatures that I was, but they weren't exactly giving me much choice in that regard.
Though he was never given a choice. Though we do have one of the solutions, as I point to my perk.
Maybe. You don't know what that is, though. You still have to figure it out.
Yep.
You have to test it. You have to do some things with that before you can make any firm decisions.
That's right.
Now,
So,
as you all are I'm sorry. Go ahead.
well, basically, Nusik is all for reporting the line and then heading straight up to the medical wing.
Alright. Do you have any word in this, Cecily?
Officer Chicken.
Sorry, I was muted. I think we should get back to the ship first.
It would actually be good to let our dear friend aboard the ship know that things have gone
Let him know
funky.
let him know what's going on here. Let him take a look at the spare parts we collected. Maybe he can even take a look at the AI. I don't know how good he is with things like that, but maybe he has some insight in all this. And if we're expected to repair some sort of relay, we might need his help, because I don't know about you guys, but I have no idea how to repair a relay.
Though I would probably do the copy then.
You don't have to do
All
a
right.
copy, you just take the copy, it's there.
Yeah, he already made one.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I'll
He
take the
made-
copy.
he made 3.
I'll take the copies.
He's only giving you one.
Okay, I'll just take the one copy.
Yeah, it's if you were to take the time, and I'm not saying your characters do, but if they did, they would find that literally his logic systems are almost always displayed when he's trying to explain anything.
Mm-hmm.
So he's always giving you a line of just this side of code.
Okay.
For every given thing that he does. Poor bugger. He's probably just as broken as Max, just in different ways.
Like he's broken vocally, but Max is still glitchy.
Right. So, is there anything else you guys want to be doing on the engineering deck?
Not specifically that I can think of, no.
Though we
Okay.
still do have the map, which
You do have the map, and it does show that there is another room, not too far from where you're at. It's the room that had the welded door at the top.
Mhm.
It's a sort of modified T-junction. The map can display which doors are active and which ones aren't. The door that's just north of your position and off to just northeast of your position is active, but the other 3 doors to the room are inactive, one of which it's reading damaged, which is the northmost door, the one you had seen.
Mm-hmm.
It's reading no life signs of any vector or unknown inside of it. The eastbound
Would be good to
door,
check that out then.
yeah. However, the eastbound door has been noted to been sealed until further notice because of a collapse of the passageway beyond.
Okay. We should probably at least take a look while we're here.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try and find and perceive for any power cells or anything interesting.
I can already tell you, no, you're not going to find any in here. You're not going to find any spare parts. What's being used is very actively being used. One thing you do notice is that there's a couple little drones that have been moving around. You can tell that they're doing one thing and one thing only, maintaining the servers. So you can see them occasionally changing wires over.
Mhm.
From what you can tell, Wrench has no direct control over these. They're literally just separate automated AI units that just do one thing.
And that's pretty much keep him alive.
Exactly.
So I think we don't need anything else in this room. Let's at least head back to the main deck.
I do think that some of the party was interested in checking out that one room first.
Yes.
Which room? The bathroom?
The room that's north and east of you. If you look to your east, to your right,
Mhm.
you might be able to see the glow of another terminal.
Yep, I do see it.
I don't.
That is just in front of the door.
Okay.
Okay.
No, I don't.
hmm
Alright, Dexon
You
is
can
gonna...
see that his terminals are acting as sort of guide lights to help you along the hallways. They're the closest
Handy.
thing he can do for a emergency power in here. If he was to redirect that much more, it would cause a little bit more undue strain, and he's realized that if this is going to be successful, he has to save as much power as possible to make sure you guys finish this job.
Pretty much.
Because it only has 2 years left with the power.
A little
And if
less,
he-
if I remember right.
About a year to 2 years. And the thing is, if this is at its current running rate, what you're going to be asking him to do is to be using more power. So that's going to be burning through it much faster. The more decks you activate, the more relays or more of the network that's put back online, the more power it's going to consume. Essentially, He's committing suicide to make sure all the information about what happened to the Van Bruin gets out.
Yeah. Okay.
And his only consolation is that we have his copies. For once,
You gotta-
do copy that floppy.
You gotta give credit to an AI that's got not only a core made of steel, but balls of steel.
Well,
Well, he's got ball bearings made of steel, so that's literal.
yeah, like big ball bearings of steel.
All
Now
right.
then.
Anyway.
This is a supply room.
Ooh.
It's mostly used for large industrial repairs and things like that. You immediately notice it because it says it on several different crates you see in the area. The pipings are used for major ventilation systems that go throughout the entirety of the ship. You can tell that the doors off to the west is locked tight. It doesn't seem to be active of any kind, though it's not registered as inactive. It's probably just a glitch within it. You can see the welded door to your north, and to the east, the door that's been sealed shut for quarantine. Because,
Yep.
well, the passage beyond has been collapsed.
Hmm.
If you're going to find those power cells and anything else, this is the place.
Let's
Well,
start
time
looking
to-
then.
Yeah, time to start looting for power cells, and once we find them, head back to the ship and explain the situation to our friend.
You find them fairly rapidly. No, you don't even need a roll. Like I said, it's a supply room. This
Yeah,
is
it is
literally the place
it's a
to find
place
that
for
stuff.
him.
Yeah.
You very quickly find a crate. It's been half busted open, and and at least 3/4 of the power cells are missing. But there's at least 3 of them left, fully charged and active, sitting in the crate. You quickly scoop them up.
To quote the Simpsons, yoink.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You also notice that there's a couple ammo boxes left in here. They must have been moved down here for extra storage from the armory. Congratulations, all of you now have ammunition that has the incendiary quality.
Ooh.
Yes.
Neat.
We're definitely gonna need these.
Whoops.
Other than that, there doesn't
How
seem to be
many-
a whole lot.
How many stacks of ammo per person?
It's a single stack. It's not a whole lot, but it's there.
It's something.
Okay.
Like,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
are there any other weapons?
No weapons. That seems to have just been something that was taken down here some time ago. You're sure if you were to review Wrench's logs, you'd be able to figure out exactly when and why if you were to note the numbers on it. But that's neither here nor there. Mostly they're just spare parts. You find a few drones that are inactive, but as you take a closer look, you can find that they are actually missing parts. So these are probably just spare chassis and whatnot in case something gets busted on the others. The major things you find is all of the parts you needed that you hadn't yet found are here. Literally everything on the list is found in here in some crate or another. A couple of them are a little bit lesser quality, as some of them have a little bit of rust or something else going on with them. But they're intact. Nothing broken, nothing damaged, just a
Nice.
little old.
Yeah, let's probably take everything we can.
Yeah.
It's heavy.
Yep. Jackson will try and carry it.
And,
Between the four
spread
of
the
you,
load
it's
around.
not. Between the four of you, it won't cause more though. So, in total, you have 5 stacks of spare parts now.
Okay.
Okay, now let's head back.
Each stack is a cargo point. So spread
Okay.
those cargo points out accordingly.
Okay.
Let me check my sheet real quick, because if I remember, I am actually... Okay, so I can carry... I need to do some math to determine how much more I can carry.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out how much cargo points armor counts as if you're wearing it.
None.
Nothing.
It
It
doesn't
says
count.
worn weapons and armor do not count.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
Says it there right where you calculate it.
well, in that case, I could. Rules as written, I could probably carry half of them without
I think-
hitting my encumbrance.
So small objects are like.
Which is fine.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm just making sure you guys are aware. Yes, they do have an actual weight, and you do want to keep track of that, because whoever has them, if you don't actually get them delivered, lickety split, you are going to be carrying them around for a while.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take one. That should be fine for me.
I'll take 2 at least.
How about we leave the spare gun, the spare shotgun with Riss?
Yeah, because I'll need it.
Yeah, I mean you can't shoot it, but at least it'll be with someone who has a likelihood of not getting in melee in the first place and having it get damaged.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then Daxon can carry one of the cells. He's actually pretty laden down.
Alright, so, if everyone has that, then we have Daxon with 1, Cecily with 1, Riss with 1, and then Nusig with 2. And that's all of them.
Yep.
Okay.
And
All
let's.
You are all clear to go.
Yep, we're all clear to go.
So, I'm not gonna have us truck all the way back through the whole of the engineering map.
Yep. So basically, it's just like.
Yeah.
Time skip.
But you will notice that all of the monitors go off as you pass them up.
Interesting.
In each case, Wrench waves at you.
Aw.
And in the last one, he gives you a thumbs up. And you see on the text, before you get over to the hatch, good luck.
Daxon gives him a thumbs up back.
Now let's get back to Wes.
Yeah, we need to report the gravity of the situation to him.
Alright. Well, you are back at the Van Bruin main hall. A few things have been moved. You can already tell that immediately.
Oh dear.
Some of the AR signs have been shifted around. You can also hear faint music coming from the casino.
Interesting. We should probably investigate that.
Yeah.
Can we drop our stuff off first? That way Wes has time to repair the ship while we investigate it.
That's what I'm thinking about first. Wes.
Unless this is Wes being an idiot and making a lot of noise.
I don't think he's an idiot. Loud, yes, but not an idiot.
Yeah, you're probably right. But,
Was the Ying catch up?
Yep, sorry.
Okay.
I am going to check... I'm going to glance into the casino as we go past, just to see if I can see the source of the noise.
You saw a humanoid figure It seems to be doing something, but it moves past one of the, what is it? It moves past one of the, slot machines and the large central thing before you can get a good look at it. Didn't seem vectorish, though.
A cog, maybe?
Or an unknown. Preferably just the AI.
Or some sort of machine. Also, just as a side note, I probably need to hop off here in a couple moments just because I need to eat lunch and I have some stuff planned later today.
No worries. This is wrapping it up. As you pass by the casino, though, you hear a gunshot.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck.
Well, now we have to investigate.
Hit the ground.
You also hear a loud voice. Distinctly not Vector. It's gotta be a cog. Fuck you! And fuck whatever spawned you, you hell beast!
Oh.
God damn it.
Daxon will ready his shield, draw his baton, and say, "Don't shoot! Friendly's coming in!"
Well, at least we know it's not Max.
Yeah. Max grew a foul mouth and firearms.
And the ability to speak coherently.
Speaking of which, in response to the gunfire, a very worried-looking Max hologram shows up.
Oh, for fuck's sake, wow.
Oh dear. It seems we must call security. Security! Security!
Max, we got this. Just be safe.
Well, I mean, he's trying, right?
I mean, he's trying.
Bless
Why not
his
try and
little
convince
machine
him that
heart.
we are security?
Because there's no point either way. That would just be
Yep.
wasting time while there's presumably gunfire going on.
Only one of us has to do it. One of us who has a security badge.
Don't worry about it. There's. What would it affect? Oh no, Max! The virtual intelligence stands in the middle of the room yelling.
Or, it might keep the actual security bots from coming and shooting at us.
I don't know if there are any security bots left.
Yeah.
Would you rather find out the hard way?
Okay, now our token game sized up.
Oh my god, Cecily was tiny and adorable.
Shut up.
Oh.
Tiny, angry, fluffy chicken.
Like, she's gonna put you down for that.
1v1 me in a fist fight. I'd like to see you try.
Don't have to. I'm pretty sure I outrank you.
Probably. At least in her head.
Just beyond where you can see it, past the table which offers various different card games, you see in the distance a cog. But he's not like other cogs you've seen. Now that you've got a good look at him, that's not a standard legal chassis. With the paint job and the extra little bits and bobs here, there's only one thing this sucker could be. That guy's a pirate.
Oh.
You also notice something that is more than a little intimidating. In his skeletal-like hands, he's strangling one of the unknown entities, literally having lifted it off the ground. It fights back, continually punching his side of his head. I said die! That was my last round, you son of a... And he smashes his forehead into its face repeatedly. Gore splurts, until finally the thing stops moving. It's actually taller than he is. And he drops it. Stupid. Fucking... I hate these things. Pips! Why did you let that damn thing in here? You know I'm low on... I'm not gonna argue with you, you damn girl.
Who?
Friendlies? Who the hell are you?
Could ask the same, but right now I think the important fact is neither of us are those things.
I'll take it. The name's
So,
Skulk. It's a nice to... I'd shake your hands, but I'm covered in... that.
I would recommend not touching you.
Yeah, so would I. Skulk. S-K-U-L-K.
I heard gulk for a second.
I've been on this damn ship for a fucking year. I'm losing my damn mind. At least there's Pips.
The casino AI, right?
Yeah, she's not gonna show up. She's scared. She doesn't know you, and there's another one of those things in the back.
Well, we can help take care of it.
We can
You
take
got
care of it.
ammo?
We do, as a matter of fact.
Thank God.
Though I would recommend you clean your hands first.
I ran out of water last week. I am as I am. Sorry. You're gonna have to take me gunk and all.
That's okay, just so long as you don't touch us with that. And we think that's how this stuff is being transmitted.
Well, that's damn helpful.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
tell you what. I don't know who you are off of this ship, but, well...
Well, survival of
kind
the
of
fittest.
Daxon kind of looks him kind of up and down, you know, pointedly glances down at his own badge and says, "Frankly, I don't care who you are off this ship, so as far as I'm concerned, we can help each other out."
Oh yeah? How you gonna help me? As far as I see it, you guys are on a short fucking leash. All it takes is one of them getting a little bit of a nibble, and y'all are dead.
Well, we have a ship. Which, I'm guessing you don't, if you've been here a year.
That changes things.
It does.
Alright. Tell you what. I know how to get in contact with the medical AI.
Maria.
Mm-hmm. I was on her deck. What? A month ago? I can help you out. On one condition.
Yeah?
Well, two, actually. Was it no, two. Sorry. It's been a while since I've spoken to someone who's not a machine like me.
Fair enough.
Get Pips off this wreck. She doesn't deserve this.
Okay, deal. We were gonna make copies of all the AI if we could.
Second, get me off this thing. I don't care if I go to prison. I'll take prison over this. This has been hell.
Well, this is a roller coaster of a colorful hell, if anyone has to say about it.
Dexon actually kind of gets a chuckle out of that and says, "Like I said, this is a life or death situation. As much as
Besides-
your colorful display is," he says, gesturing to his outfit, "it tells me that you're someone of interest to who I work for. I don't give a damn, and I don't think anyone deserves being left on this thing. So, as soon as we get off, we get to go our separate ways. You get your second chance."
I'll take all the chances I can damn well get.
Besides, this ship has less than a year's worth of power left.
Oh, that's comforting. So either way, I would have died in another year. Ha!
Yeah. Like I said, no one deserves to be left on this ship.
At this point, at the, as you, approach Skulk, he gestures you, "Come on. I've got it locked in a closet."
I'm going to keep a respectable distance.
He,
Daxon will keep kind of a respectful distance, but we'll take point for the party.
as you pass by, you notice that there's a stack of bodies in one of the corners. Past the billiards off to the left-hand side, there's a very literal stack of whatever unknowns in that side. He sticks a thumb out. Every now and again, one of them wanders through the ventilation shafts from one of the upper decks. I usually don't miss. I've had a year to practice. But, every now and again. As you get closer, though, a AI hologram appears on the stage.
Oh.
She's very short.
Aw.
Hi. She's in a, one of those, classic bunny girl onesies. You're not sure why that was ever a thing, but apparently it's a holdout from humans. Something about attractive women in rabbit suits.
I take it your pips.
That's me. I'm the only AI who's not broken.
Yeah, well, we just met. Of course,
Wrench.
we've made Max's acquaintance, and we've already met Wrench.
Yeah, poor Max. He's all kinds of corrupted, and Wrench, I haven't heard from him in a long, long time. The only reason I'm intact is because of I was on maintenance when everything happened, so I actually wasn't active. My sub AI is Bob and Joe. They're gone. Just gone.
Gone or severed from the link?
No. They were. Whatever's left of them is shattered. I guess you humans would call it. You vectors would call it rampant, but that's not even covering it. Everything that makes them is gone. They're not even programs anymore. They're broken pieces of code.
Do they have any sort of thought or will, or is it?
It's literally no different than if you were to rip me out and then try to jam me inside of your toggle.
Oh. For what it's worth, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
Little
going...
digital tears are streaming down her face. I don't know how to handle all this. I'm not made for this, and I can't... I know how to run most of the systems on here. I was meant as a backup if Max ever broke, and, well, I'm still cut off from the network. The relay here, if it was restored, I'd probably be able to do something on this deck. I'd be able to close doors, lock them, open up, shut down, override quarantines, everything. Because Max can't. He's stuck in a loop. He still thinks it's our first day here.
The Wrench told us to restore the uplinks. We made a deal. We were gonna get all the AI off the ship, take in all of the telemetry data, make sure none of this happens again.
For real?
Yeah.
We can finally leave?
Yep.
You hear that, Skulk? It's freedom! We're finally getting off this freaking rock!
As I try to find the access thing, do you have a terminal for... As I kind of reach around and show the disk.
Yeah, I can get that taken care of. But first, can you kill that thing in the closet? It's making a terrible racket.
Yeah, don't see why not.
Alright.
You open the closet. It looks up from its crouched position, only to be met with a barrage of bullet rounds into its face. It slumps into the ground. Skulk nods approvingly and says, "For now, if we can get some kind of cleanser or something on me so I can get this crap off me and I can shake your hands, we'll seal that deal. And we'll stop there."
Sounds good to me.
Yay!
I'm giving favor to everybody, so 20 XP all around.
Yay!
Damn.
Other than that, great job, guys. You went about this in a very different way. My original plan was for you to run into Pips and Skulk first.
Oh,
Sorry.
I'm not mad at this. I planned for different things. Like, you wouldn't have found Skulk, as friendly if you had found him first.
Oh,
yay!
Well, because he would have assumed from the get-go that you were them.
Yep.
mm-hmm.
And he
Yep.
probably would have had bullets then.
Exactly. So, huzzah! You've made 2 more allies, I guess?
Yeah.
Well, 2 allies, yeah.
At least as much as a crazy cog pirate and a poor out-of-the-loop AI can be.
Unless there's anything to act, I shall stop the stream.
No, go ahead.
Sounds good.
Farewell, viewers. Thank you for your patience.
See y'all next week.
Bye, viewers.
See you next time.